Hey gamers, welcome back to a brand new DSP video. This is basically part 2 of what I was trying to cover in the last video. So let's get into it. We got some timestamps here. We got like a few videos on deck. But I do want to bring this up before we get into this video because I'm not watching Smart Guys. I'm not going to load up his stream archive of it because fuck Phil, I'm a troll. I'm not gonna give him a fucking view, obviously. But there was a part of it where PPP said that he wanted to put the Grill Phil segment at the tail end of the podcast, basically, and you want to talk about wrestling immediately because it's a wrestling podcast, etc. And the way he said it, I want to bring it up now because it's going to be a very interesting comparison, I guess. The way he said it was in a basic, like, hey, I'm making an announcement about our show and we're going to do some changes that anyone would do. Like, you don't want to kind of sit there and shit on the viewer and say, this is why we're changing it, fuck the trolls. There's like, hey, we're just going to, like, switch it to the end because, you know, this is a wrestling podcast and we should be talking majority of wrestling and not, like, the Grill Phil. Like, the Grill Phil was like taking over the majority of the podcast, so they want to make sure they talk about the wrestling, and then whatever's left over will be Grill Phil. And that like makes sense as a podcast. Like it makes sense when you listen to that. I mean, technically, Grill Phil should not even be in the podcast technically. But anyways, the way he said it in that podcast was very like straightforward and genuine, and like not like confrontational. Like, at all. This is how DSP approaches the announcement that Grill Phil will, like, be later, if at all, in the podcast. This is how DSP covers it. Oh, wait, wrong window. Alright, here we go.
What we aspired to do with this show is twofold. Number one, yes, to do wrestling commentary, and yes, to take it seriously, and to give our opinions on pro wrestling and stuff like that, which I feel like we're doing a good job of. I think people are enjoying.
I love how literally distracted he gets with the RGBs. The dude literally was like inspecting the RGB of his mic. I mean, I guess he was also looking for dust because he always has to blow dust if he sees it. Like, he has to go up to it and just blow into it. I'm not gonna do it because I'm not an asshole.
Enjoying that aspect of it, okay? But the other half.
All right, what's the other half?
Is that we're trying to get me out there into the world.
This is like such a funny statement. Trying to get me out there in the world, like DSP. Are you like? It's really like he takes the hermit thing. Like I'm a recluse or whatever, a homebody, whatever. Like so seriously that he's acting as if like he's one of those people that like they need genuine help to get out in the world. Like people like, who are like I'm afraid of like interacting with people. You know, I'm gonna compare it to an anime. I'm going there. I'm going to the anime realm. There's quite a few animes that deal with this kind of like trope. The one that's on my mind currently is well, two basically, but I'm gonna use one because whatever. Well, let's do whatever. The Look Back anime. One of the characters is a recluse that stays at home and like becomes friends with another artist, and then that's how she gets into the world and all this kind of stuff. Great movie, by the way. Love the movie. But there's that. Then there's Boki the Rock, a musician that like wants to be in a band, but is an introvert and like whatever. DSP like wants us to see him as that. Like we need to have like he needs all these anime friends to show him the way that you can interact with other people. Having friends is good, Phil. Wow, the power of friendship. Like that's what he wants, basically. That's how he's like talking. We're trying to get me into the world. DSP, you're like 40 years old. Oh man.
Interacting with people rather than it just being me.
And then the other thing is, he says that the trolls are the ones that have no friends, no family, no life. They stay in basements and they have no interaction with anyone. Blah blah blah. Meanwhile, this dude said that the point of the Smart Guys is to get him out in the world. I mean, I don't remember him saying that we need to get out in the world. That we should have like shows that try to get us out in the world or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Me talking to my audience on a stream, instead having interactions, right? So
Right?
having PPP on the show with me as my co-host, having us interact back and forth, and talking about things that normally I would not address in my content. You know,
Like
we're
what?
talking about silly stuff like socks
now, no.
or
Okay, let's Oh my god, let's go back a bit. We're going back to Footgate. We're going back to the fake Footgate. Why not, right? Okay. So I've been seeing people say, oh, fake foot debunked. Oh, look, he's wiggling his toes. See, it's real. Guys, we're in 2025 right now. He has a fake foot that has animatronics moving the toes. Like, you know, like you could just like push a button and it's like it does this. Like you every time he shows his foot, he does the same thing with his toes, which is like obviously button powered or whatever the fuck. Like look how he's holding. He's holding two hands. His thumb is behind the ankle, by the way, the supposed ankle. What do you think that thumb's doing? Pushing buttons. See? Fake foot. It never was real. He just upgraded the foot. He upgraded the foot. That's why he's that. That's, you know, also think about this. Why suddenly? We're all talking about his foot. Suddenly we're all talking about the foot. Oh, look at Phil's feet. Phil's foot. Foot. Sock. And suddenly he's talking about socks. He's wearing socks. He's lifting his foot above his head. Obviously, he upgraded the foot tech. It went from like, okay, here's a fake foot, then slam it down, to, oh, look, a foot. Then he pushes a button and moves the toes around. Obviously, he upgraded the foot tech. So people say fake foot debunked. Never lose hope. Technology is there. The tech is there. The tech is real.
Or what's in my fridge, or my educational history, or, you know,
But like, I love that he's like bringing this up, like, oh look, we did this, and these are silly things. But it's like, you signed this podcast up to be a wrestling podcast, like, you know, I guess you could throw this about Game Club, because when I started Game Club, it was literally just discussing about games we played, and then it went from that to like whatever the fuck it went. But at the end of the day, it did still talk about video games, to be very fair. It's not like we pivoted to talk about like other stuff, you know, which is like fine. It's whatever, you know. It wasn't a major pivot. Meanwhile, with Smart Guys, it went from like wrestling to Phil. What's in your fridge? Okay, get a load of this. And again, the only reason why people wanted to see what's inside the fridge was because he made it such a big deal about how he couldn't fit the rum cake. Which, like, come on, man. How can he not fit a rum cake in a refrigerator? And then he showed us the food. It was a lot of food. It was insane. It's like, it was really like he's a doomsday prepper. Like, he's ready for society to collapse again. I mean, it might. The egg-based economy is coming up, guys. Get your eggs now. Your eggs right now. Get them now. Get them now while you can. Then, you know, you got the power. You got the eggs. You got the power.
we have a segment that we literally call Grill Phil.
He didn't do this, by the way.
Where I'm on the hot seat and he hits me up basically with every question that idiotic detractors come up with.
Honestly, this is dumb though. When he first did this and unveiled it, it was so corny. I'm on the hot seat. It was like, geez, dude, you're like not really funny. Stop.
And I just answer it rationally, okay? And there's a lot of teasing and
he answered it rationally, dude. He's like, look at this. Oh, is that healthy? Yes, it is pristine Italiano lettuce rice fettuccine. Whatever the fuck. I don't know. I don't remember having these things, but it's whatever. Okay? Whatever.
And razzing and having fun with
teasing
it.
And
but
razzing.
I think that it's a good segment because it's something different that normally I don't do in my content. Okay?
But what? But see how dumb this is? Like, if you go through this, like, train of thought, right? He doesn't want to do this as normal content, which is gameplay, because he's playing a game. Why is he going to talk about his refrigerator or whatever, correct? Okay. But Smart Guys is a wrestling podcast. So why is it okay for the wrestling podcast to divert to Grill Phil or whatever the fuck every week? But his gameplay, or even his podcast, oh, we can't talk about the fucking refrigerator or anything like that because it's a gaming channel. But in reality, when you look at the podcast, you can make a stronger case to say, well, this is a podcast. There's, like, you could talk about whatever. It's a fucking podcast. The wrestling podcast is designed to talk about wrestling. The gameplay streams are you're playing a video game, whatever. I mean, honestly, you can talk about anything you want during a gameplay stream. In my opinion, whatever. But this dude, like, is so tight and like regimented with his content and what he talks about. But the wrestling commentary can be about anything. Why? Why is it okay to grill Phil in the wrestling podcast, but not have a grill Phil segment in the podcast that has multiple segments? Okay. I mean, remember he did a duty segment on his podcast before when he used to give a shit about duty.
I enjoy doing something different, all right? But
Alright.
we've tried this now for several different weeks, all right? Like, we've tried different ways of doing it or whatever. We've messed around with it.
What different ways? They all seem the same to me.
And basically what's ended up happening is, like, the whole first hour of the show is that segment, and then we do about 90 minutes of wrestling commentary. So the show ends up being about 2 to 3 hours long, okay? I definitely feel like it's been fun. Like, I like it, but it's not seeming to resonate with the audience. And what I mean by that is the audience that we're getting.
In my opinion, the wrestling podcast is not riveting content. I'm sure it is for people who, like, care, but I mean, honestly, I do have a biased opinion because I don't really care that much about wrestling. Like, as I said, my only thing I appreciate about wrestling is that we got cool ass moves in video games. Like, that's it. That's as far as my knowledge and appreciation goes. And and we also got Dave Bautista, which I think is he's a good actor. I like him in Knock at the Cabin. He's good in that. But anyways, I don't have much of an opinion of it, other than, like, I just find it boring. Like, wow, and so that's why I didn't really watch the wrestling podcast. I've seen clips here and there. That's why I know, like, he had random political segments as randomly in his content. I think there was also moments where PPP tried to get DSP to say, like, Phil, isn't she hot? And he's like, well, okay, she's a person. Like, okay.
For Smart Guys is a combination of my core audience from my content, some of the casino audience, and I get the feeling there's a few wrestling fans tossed in there that maybe here or there have gotten wind of the show and want to check it out. So if you're a fan of mine, or if you're a wrestling fan, the whole first hour of the show probably doesn't appeal to you at all. All right?
I mean,
so
you could kind of argue it does appeal to his fans if you think about it, because the subject is Phil, and they're fans of Phil.
what's happening is that basically a lot of people are starting to get turned off to the first hour of the show. They're saying, it was fun the first time, but you're doing it every week. And we're waiting for the wrestling commentary, and it seems like we have to play this waiting game to get through it, and it's very frustrating, okay? So, basically, we've tried different things, and here's the thing. You want to try new stuff, right? You do. You want to attempt to do things differently. You want to try new stuff and see what works. I just don't think the segment is working, and it's not just me, it's both of us. Like, after having done this now for over a month, I think we both agree that the segment is not working. It's not bringing new eyes to the show. It's not bringing in any extra revenue, that's for sure. It would have been one thing if, for example, a couple weeks ago.
So if he was getting money for it, he would keep doing it. I mean, okay.
Had this other angle of camera, okay? And what we were saying was, hey, Could we actually see Phil do push-ups? Because one of the stupid memes about me from years ago.
This push up thing is it's so severely dented because he literally like, and it's funny in many ways, right? Because when he first did, everyone knew he was lying. It's like, okay, yeah, you're just like 1, 2. He was just simply just counting up to 25 to and pretend that he was doing push-ups. Then he was gonna hit him with, well, you didn't say to turn the camera, because that's the kind of person he is, obviously. But let's assume that he was being honest, right? Let's say he actually did the push-ups. We have found a way, PBS has found a way to gaslight Phil, to rewrite history, to say he didn't do it, to make him a liar, which is so funny to me, that this dude is not only, he's either a liar or he's very easy to convince he is a liar, and then he'll double down on being a liar. But it's so dumb that he thinks that the meme of him doing push-ups, that we think that he can't do push-ups or really do push-ups. Has Phil ever done a push-up? When that's not what people are saying. It's that this dude, like, this dude, well, I guess it's to a degree, it's that he can't do push-ups, but it's mostly just the meme isn't that he can or can't do it, is the fact that he wanted money for push-ups that he didn't do. Like, that's it. That's all it is. And since then, people just want him to film himself doing push-ups, because it's like, okay, you want us to include the let us see you do push-ups. Okay, then let us see you do push-ups. And he refused to do it since then. Like, that's the thing. He said then, when he first was told to do push-ups, well, you didn't say to turn the camera. Then, so he said, okay, then turn the camera. He's like, well, that's not the agreement. Okay, fine, whatever. But then other people after that was like, okay, then do push-ups. I'll tip you to do a push-up if you show us on camera. And then he was like, well, I can't do that. Okay, the camera doesn't work. And then the next day, he turned the camera to the floor for some reason, right? Like, that's all it is. That's the meme right there.
Years ago, is that someone challenged me to do push-ups, and I jumped off camera and claimed that I did them. Now, obviously, I didn't. Obviously, I was
Obviously, I did. I didn't. And the thing is like, again, this is the shit I said before. He lies. Okay, I mean, liars usually, in my opinion, don't like. Well, I guess they would if they're liars, right? But I guess a liar that's called out would then say like, and okay, oh my god, I'm like tripping over myself in this. Jeez, man. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is that if you want people to take you seriously and be honest, and like, look, I'm being honest now or whatever the fuck, you wouldn't just nonchalantly say, yeah, I was lying back then, yeah, and then continue, because the thing is, he was caught on lying almost every year, basically. I mean, people have come out in lies before, and then but he would then decide to double down on these lies, and then say, well, I'm being honest. Oh, guys, like this, that's, why would anyone believe him anyway? Again, this is, as I said before, even if he did do the push-ups, if he actually did them, him to say this is really funny to me, because it's like, okay, so if you were being honest then about doing push-ups, and then right now you're saying that you didn't, are you lying then or are you lying now? Like, it doesn't really benefit him either way, because either way he looks really bad, because again, lying is bad, but the things he chooses to lie about is like really stupid.
fucking around, right? But that was the meme. Is that, oh, will we ever see
Just
Phil
fucking
actually do
around.
push-ups? So it's like, okay,
No, the meme is that, will we see him? It's that you're somewhat insecure about showing us doing push-ups, but okay.
hey, well, let's go ahead and do it. Let's do the segment, right? Let's show that with this new setup, we can now do push-ups, right? So I set it up. I did one half push-up. It wasn't even a real push-up. All right. It was just kind of a
Oh
fake one.
man, it was a fake one. Like this dude. This dude is like the most not genuine person because I think this is just him coping. Like I didn't do a real one; it was a fake one. I mean, I guess you could argue it that he didn't really try because he just wanted to see if he could fit, and that's it. And I guess I guess you could say that, but at the same time, you don't want to show that you can do push-ups. Like why is he being? Why was it, like? You're watching the stream. Why would you tip someone at that point if they didn't try the first time? Like you saw him do you pretty much fuck the floor, and it's like I'm gonna pay for that. No thanks. Like why not just show him actually doing push-ups? I don't know, whatever.
And then we said, all right, so if you guys support the show and we hit our goals tonight, Phil will do 20 push-ups or however many he can do, right?
20
and guess
or however
what?
many.
We didn't hit our goal.
Yeah, because it $300 or whatever the fuck he asked for Smart Guy specifically to do 20 push-ups is kind of ridiculous. But okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Every week we do something silly like that where it's like, hey, this seems to be things that people have asked for or wanted for years. People want Phil in an environment where he's going to do things that he normally wouldn't do. So let's do it. And then if people support the show...
This is like really, really funny to me because, dude, DSV bragged about not doing stunts. I don't do stunts? What is this then? A stunt. This is all a stunt to get people to watch his stupid ass wrestling podcast. And this dude will brag about how he doesn't do stunts. Smart Guys is a stunt at this point. But okay.
Oh, then we'll give them these rewards that they claim to have wanted for so long. Okay?
And again, these rewards are directed to trolls, basically, which he thinks that like that's how you monetize trolls by saying, trolls, you want me to do this? Then pay up. I mean, if I want DSB to drink bleach, will he offer the ability for me to give him money to drink bleach? And I'm just gonna say this before he even does the trick where I was like, well, he didn't say I have to pour the bleach on camera. I want him to bring in a sealed container of bleach into the gamer room, open it in front of the camera, and not even pour it in a glass. Just drink from the bottle. But again, it has to be sealed, so I know it wasn't tampered with. And he could take a shot of Clorox bleach, and then I'll believe him. That's what he should do. If he wants to do these kind of little stunts for trolls, that's the kind of stunt he should do. Not
That's
really.
the whole idea
really? I don't
of
know.
the segment. And guess what's happened?
By the way, look at this.
The show, then we'll give them these rewards that they claim to have wanted for
By the way, why is there like a
so long.
heart? Whatever.
Okay? That's the whole idea.
Okay. Looks around. Did the corner demon show up?
Of the segment. And guess what's happened? Absolutely nothing positive whatsoever. We've gained no additional viewers. We've gotten no extra.
Then why did you do it? See, this dude was doing stunts to get views. I thought you don't do stunts. I thought people tune in to watch your meaningful takes. And this dude is like, well, see, I did this stuff for the trolls and they didn't show up.
No extra support. In fact, I would argue that when we start the segment, a lot of people get turned off and are like, wow, this really sucks.
Nice mic stand, by the way.
We'd rather just have the wrestling commentary. Okay? Which is unfortunate. Because here's what that tells you. All right? All these idiots on the internet are hypocrites.
Again, as I said for years, everyone has been saying this, honestly. This isn't a new thing. Why does he only talk about trolls when it comes to doing content? Why is he making content for trolls? I thought these aren't people he wants to like entertain. I thought he wants to make content for his positive viewers. Why is he like say I did the trolls say I should do this and I did this and they didn't show up? I mean, not every troll that gives feedback is giving feedback either for the best interest or whatever. Like people say whatever. Again, it's the conundrum of when you read a YouTube comment, where you'll either read a comment and it'll either be useful information that's helpful, or it's gonna be something that's not helpful. or that it's helpful, but it's not for the kind of show you're doing or whatever the fuck. But these are things you have to like think critically about. This dude is not thinking critically. He just thinks that, well, these people who hate me, they just hate me because they're critics. I mean, that's not necessarily true. Not everyone who hates you or makes videos about you are necessarily critics of you. It's all it's a whole like umbrella of channels with all difference of opinion. Not everyone has the same opinion or same goal in the videos that they make.
They were never legit to begin with. They don't actually want to see me do things outside the box. They just want to make fun of.
Again, this like, go back to the suggestion box. Did any of the suggestion box mention, Phil, you should do push-ups on stream. You should hang out with PPP and do some troll memes. Like, the most advice that trolls give DSP that he should do, right, is like, he should talk more in gameplay. He shouldn't just be talking about just the game or expect chat to just talk to him. Like, he should also engage with the chat. He should do this. He should do like viewer lobbies or whatever. Like, these are like basic criticisms people give out that anyone could give to him. And he flat out does not accept, does not listen to, doesn't care. But when it comes to people saying, Phil, he doesn't do push-ups, he's a little bitch, he can't do a push-up at all. Okay, see, I did a push-up and they didn't listen to me. Or whatever the fuck. Like, that's not the kind of criticism you should listen to.
Fun of me so they can grift.
So
okay, it's that simple.
Right? It's that
These
simple.
idiots who claim to be.
But again, notice again, when PPP announced they want to do the grill fill segment at the end of the stream or whatever, he didn't sit there shitting on the viewers or shitting on trolls or anything. It was straight up, hey, this is a wrestling podcast and we want to talk more about the wrestling, so we're going to do the wrestling stuff at the start, and whatever time is left over, that could go into grill fill. Like, that's how you do it. You don't have to sit there and antagonize people or say, oh, they're dumb, look how stupid this is, or whatever the fuck. But DSP, every time he makes these announcements, he always has to be he has to antagonize people. Like, he really wants to like portray it as like, in a way, he's a victim. Like, oh, I should have listened to these people or whatever. That kind of narrative. But that doesn't really, like, benefit you as a person, and it emboldens more people to fuck with you. Like, you should just say, hey, you know, we were doing the podcast, and we noticed that, we don't talk a lot about the wrestling, and we talk more about this grill fill segment. I think we're just gonna do the wrestling podcast in the beginning, okay? So, there you go. We don't need this explanation of why the push-ups were a meme to begin with. Why did we do them? Where was the support? Or whatever the fuck. Or why do the trolls care? Why do I listen to trolls? But why don't you listen to your fucking fans then? Like, how come when he talks about like feedback, he always brings up trolls? Always. See, I listen to trolls and nothing happens. Why not listen to the fans that give you feedback?
Critics are not critics. They are people who literally will just say negative things because they have conditioned an audience to like hearing negative things about.
What does this have to do? Like, listen to this.
To begin with, they don't actually want to see me do things out. Unfortunate, because here's what that tells you. All right, all these.
All right, see, this is what low support, low viewership, whatever the fuck. This is what it tells you. Initially, you're thinking like. You know what's funny? He a few seconds ago, he just said that the grill fill segments were segments that weren't that were not appealing to DSP fans, wrestling fans, or whatever the fuck, right? That he could just have said that, right? Because you assume he makes this content for his fans and for people who like wrestling. But he goes from that to then say, so like, this is what this tells you, right?
These idiots on the internet are hypocrites. They were never legit to.
How am I a hypocrite? I never once said that he should do push-ups on stream or whatever the fuck this was. I didn't even say he should do Grill Phil. Like, I even said in the previous video, I've said this even before. What relevance does Grill Phil have with wrestling? Like, why did DSP allow PPP to do Grill Phil segments? Like, think about it. Like, this is kind of, in a way, hiding behind trolls as the reason why Grill Phil segments exist, when in reality, you could argue PPP is the one that did it. He started doing it, and he said facetiously, mind you, he facetiously said that he's gonna Grill Phil every week by WWE champions or whatever the fuck. Like, that's the start of it. And then DSP was like, I guess we're gonna do it every week. And then that's it. Then they kept going. And now it's the troll's fault. But DSP, you are a co-host of the show. If you didn't like the segment, or you thought that it was irrelevant, why didn't you say anything? It's too late, in my opinion, for him to blame the trolls when it isn't even their fault to begin with, in my opinion, because PvP is the one that started it. And it's too late to even play the blame game. You did it for weeks, multiple weeks of doing Grill Phil, and now suddenly, oh, it's the trolls' fault. Why did I listen to the trolls? No one, I don't remember any trolls saying, yeah, Phil should do a Grill Phil thing every week.
To begin with, they don't actually want to see me do things outside the box. They just want to make fun of me so they can grift.
And it's funny to me, right, that he didn't have this opinion about the politics show, which in my opinion, he might have had, he would probably have more of a point with the politics show, right? Because people were telling him for years, you should do politics, yeah, do politics, do politics, do politics. He cancels it, and it didn't get support since then. And he did have kind of a meltdown, but it was mostly that he was just saying that, like, he was busy, no one seemed to care. But he didn't go on and on to say, oh, the trolls that want to see me do politics, they didn't show up for my politics show. But for this, obviously I had to talk about trolls because Grill Phil literally was tied to troll questions. But again, the trolls did not ask him to do this segment.
Okay, it's that simple. These idiots who claim to be critics are not critics. They are people who
claim to be a critic. I mean, there are trolls that give him criticisms, sure, but not all of them are critics. Again, this is just an assumption that people who are making videos like this come from a place of, like, criticizing the content. And that is true. I mean, I do think that to a degree that my videos are criticizing his content here and there, but my sole point of these videos are not just to criticize him, but to kind of explain why I think this dude's a dumbass. Like, there's all these kind of, like, takes ideas to get, but again, you have to, like, be critical about what you're listening to and what you're putting out. And this dude has zero quality control, like, at all. Like, I mean, to get only semi-political with this, he's the kind of person that could attract all these, like, white supremacist, racist, edgelord, like, questionable people into his community. And even on that side, then you have, like, the Derek side also being, like, the Darziaks of the internet also get lured by him. And instead of, like, saying fuck Nazis, fuck racism, or whatever, he's so surrounded by these viewers, he finds himself in a position where he's scared to say a lot of things, right, or whatever. Like, he's that kind of guy that he'd find himself surrounded by these people, and then he's like, like, he wouldn't be able to, like, to stand up for himself. Does that make sense? Like, I guess it's like an easy guy to be peer pressured in with the wrong crowd, which people have been saying about his relationship with PPP, basically. Like, that's basically what it is. He hangs out with this guy that may or may not have his best interest in mind when he has DSP do certain things. Like, it's very questionable about is PPP genuinely a DSP fan or his friend, or is he a person that isn't thinking in DSP's best interest? Like, that's the kind of situation DSP is currently in, and that's the problem when you don't have any critical thought in what you're like looking at and what and who you're interacting with, um or how you're making your own videos. Like, you know, if I listen to a person that says, "Well, Theo's videos are dumb because like he should be taking his shirt off and he should be drinking shots on stream and then he should be drinking paint thinner and then he should do this, they should do that." Like, should I listen to that because he's saying that these in a way that's criticizing my content or whatever, or should I just say, "Well, this is kind of stupid takes. Maybe I could do the shots idea, like doing like alcoholic shots every time I like die in a video game or whatever." Like, that is an idea. But the paint thinner and that kind of stuff, I don't think I should listen to that part. That may not have my best interest in mind at that point. Like, but this is the thought process DSP doesn't have in his little baby brain. He can't look at what he's putting out or what he's making to think, is this what I want to do? Do I want to do grill fill segments in a wrestling podcast? Oh, but it's silly fun. Why not? Oh, this is kind of a good face. Uh-oh. What happened?
Fortunate, because here's what that tells you.
Oh,
All right?
God.
All these idiots on the internet are hypocrites. They were never legit to begin with.
What
They don't
happened?
actually want to see me do things outside the box. They just want to make fun of me so they can grift. Okay?
Oh,
It's
man.
that simple.
That's
These
simple.
idiots who claim to be critics are not critics. They are people who literally will just say negative
Whatever.
things because they have conditioned an audience. Okay? It's that simple. These idiots who claim to be critics are not critics. They are people.
Okay, this is actually kind of a funnier face. I guess I did Command 4, but that shouldn't. Or maybe I did Command R by accident. Whatever.
Who literally will just say negative things because they have conditioned an audience to like hearing negative.
But what does this have to do with? Hold on. What is going on with the quality? Did the quality like go down? Let's try 1080p. Maybe we'll experiment with that today. We're gonna be a little adventurous. But let's rewind this a bit. Sorry.
These idiots who claim to be critics are not critics. They are people who literally will just say negative things.
So he's saying that he's listening to like detractors for criticism and stuff like that, but then says that these people aren't critics. They say this stuff to get a rise out of their audience or whatever the fuck. But then if that's the case, like see, he says that's what we are anyway. He said that we get a rise out of our audience and this and that. So why is he acting as if this is a brand new discovery?
Because they have conditioned an audience to like hearing negative things about Darkside Phil. So if I do the things that they've always claimed I wouldn't do, no one cares because that wasn't the point. The
Oh, I want to hear this again. Sorry.
conditioned an audience to like hearing negative things about Darkside Phil.
We condition an audience, but people already dislike you. It's not really much of a conditioning. Like, I'm not like showing this to a brand new viewer who never heard of this guy and say like, "You must hate Phil. You must hate him." But it's like, yeah, they may watch a video and say, "Why is this guy a piece of shit?" And then they're like, "Oh, okay, this might be why. I'll go give him a watch and see if he is a piece of shit." That's where half of his viewers come from, technically, theoretically.
So if I do the things that they've always claimed I wouldn't do, no one cares because that wasn't the point. The point is just to
But again, the people who are making negative videos about him are not going to support him. Why does he think that they're gonna support him and then act surprised when they don't? Like, why put yourself in that situation?
to rag on me so they can monetize and make money because they are greedy, disingenuous fuckwads
Where's my
who
money?
actually prey upon and condition and groom an actual audience of
This is like, it's insane that he's sitting there and talking about how detractors are conditioning, they're grooming, and this, that. I mean, honestly, you listen to this and you already think this dude's out of his fucking mind. This already sounds insane. And then he says, yes, it's insane, go watch our streams. But it's like, these are like very like steep accusations that he would not appreciate if we throw that back at him. Again, he was pressuring his audience to hit the 100 goals hit goal. Oh my god, I hate how redundant this shit is, because saying he wants his goal is fans to hit goals to 100, whatever. But he told him, we gotta hit it by Friday, guys. We have to hit it by Friday, guys. We gotta hit it by Friday. Let's try to do double goals. He calculates how many streams he would need to hit to get the goals hit by a certain day. That's not grooming an audience to do something that you want them to do. And it's very funny to me that he got rid of the streaks. He doesn't do streaks anymore. But the way he designed these goals hit is to basically still do a consecutive amount of goals. It's just now it's like, well, if he doesn't hit it, we get to cope by saying it's okay. We can hit double goals tomorrow. Like, that's all it has become. It's that we don't have to worry about hitting goals consecutively, but we do have to worry about hitting the goals to hit it in time for an event that he wants to do on a certain day that we may or may not know when he wants to hit the goal. Like, that defeats the whole point of doing this, correct? And then he had said, well, there's 3 reasons why we can't hit the goals by this day because of this, and this. Like, again, this is grooming. If you want to use these insane words, I'm going to use them. This is him grooming his audience to hit goals enough times to get events that he wants hit on certain days. And then he tells them, don't do this, don't do that, basically. Like, that's not grooming. When people nominate games, he's like, guys, let's not do this. Let's not nominate this. You guys don't want to see this. You guys don't want to see that. Like, that is also technically conditioning your audience. Like, you see it all the time. Oh, if a lot of people beg me to play this, that's gonna make me not want to play it. Okay, no one begged me to play this, so that means no one wants to play it. So he's conditioning his audience to beg for only certain games. Like, the viewer's choice is literally that. Every time people nominate games, he acts passive aggressive towards the selection of games that they want to see. That is, in a way, is conditioning them to not pick games he doesn't want them to play. Guys, I don't like the Lollipop Chainsaw thing is a prime example. Guys, this is stupid. Why Lollipop Chainsaw? I know I don't want to play the game fully. Why bother? That's conditioning the audience to not suggest games like that. It would be the same thing with Catherine. That's why he had viewer's choice have these regulations that said no JRPGs, no Catherine, no Code Vein, or whatever, because he didn't want to give these games a chance, and he wanted to condition his audience. Like, he tells them, guys, let's pick games that aren't long for the viewer's choice. Let's do this for the viewer's choice, and that's a form of conditioning. And also, the rewards and pressuring the rewards is also a form of conditioning. I mean, if you could really go that far, I mean, every streamer has goal rewards and this and that. So he gets to hide behind that, but at the end of the day, at the basic relationship of giving rewards is in a way a condition. Like, it's how people do, like, reward, like, you want a dog to sit, to roll over, you give them a treat as a reward for listening to you. That's literally doing a form of conditioning. You're conditioning a dog to do tricks. He's conditioning his audience by doing this. And again, you could also argue with his fans are conditioning him to do certain things. When the chat posts this, he does this.
Of mentally challenged people. That's
Correct.
the truth. If you go to one of these streams or if you go to one of their shows, you will not see an audience of intelligent well-functioned mental people,
How do
you
you
will
know
see
that?
idiots.
Like, I love that he says that you'll know that these people are not mentally well or whatever the fuck. Meanwhile, this dude kept Derek around for a long time. And then when people were like, well, I don't know, Phil, he's kind of a little off. Why are you judging Derek for what he does on stream, okay? Leave him alone. But now when you go to a Detractor stream or whatever, suddenly magically you can just tell that there's something off by them commenting LOL.
Mouth droolers, mouth breathers, very slow people. That's who watch that kind of content on a regular basis. And they've been conditioned to like it. Get it? So now all the
How come, right? There's not been people who, like, there are people who start to dislike other detractors or whatever. Why don't they make a video crying about the person that they decide they don't like or whatever, right? Like, but in ways, like, to compare, to be more direct, like Iron Cook Sakai, right? He didn't get his way on DSP's stream. He left DSP's content, did a stream. Phil sucks. He's a loser. And then when trolls didn't like ass pat him, he then went back to Phil, gave him more money to earn his trust again. Again, I just want to reiterate, this dude told Iron Chef Sakai in order for him to get to trust his contributions again, which is it's a very sus way he described this, because it almost sounded like Iron Chef Sakai did send him a lot of money in a tip, and he didn't count it, and that's why Iron Chef Sakai's asked him to count his money, or whatever the fuck, whatever, right? But in order for him to gain his trust, would have to give him money through a means that could not be refundable or charged back, aka super chats, memberships, or kick subs. But mostly super chats and memberships at that point, because he was banned on Kick. And he did that. Now, you'd think, right? He made a big deal about Iron Chef Sakai being a loser and a prisoner who tried to control the stream, and made an example of him, mocked him on his stream, banned him live, and said he lost his mind. What's wrong with him? Blah, blah, blah. And said we can't trust him anymore, etc., etc., etc. He comes back on his YouTube chat and then doesn't ban him. I wonder why. Then tells him, well, if you get any money through super chats or memberships, maybe I'll trust you. That's not conditioning Iron Chef Sakai? That's not grooming him or conditioning your own fan base to be more in line with what you want them to, and how they want to act, how you want them to act? I mean, you can kind of like throw this back at him as much as he throws back on his detractors. If he wants to go down the path of saying that we all condition our audience, how come we don't have these weird segments where we try to condition a viewer to act in a certain way in our own content? Meanwhile, DSP actively like calls out his own viewers when he wants to make an example of them. And then when they show up, he mocks them and makes them embarrassing. It's extremely awkward. Like, I don't know if he'll still do it, and I feel that they should keep harassing Iron Chef Sakai, in my opinion, because Iron Chef Sakai literally, like, threw a tantrum about not getting his way on stream, made a big deal with DSP, and all this other stuff, and then came crawling back, like, you don't think that's gonna make him an awkward situation?
all these years, oh, we wanted this. Okay, we're going to give it to you. Oh, well, no, we don't want that. What do you mean? You're going to get what you've asked?
Nobody said, like, but this is the funny thing. No, like, when they were doing Grill Phil segments, did anyone say they didn't want this? Like, when that being said, like, was going over the Grill Phil segments, did any of them say they didn't want it? If anything, they said that they just kept saying this is bad for Phil. That's not saying that they didn't want it. They're just saying that why would Phil allow this or whatever the fuck. But him not getting support, who is to say, by the way, that the people who did end up supporting the stream weren't people who enjoyed it? And yet, but he's measuring that the failure of it by the people who wanted didn't show up to support. But just because I want, again, if I want something, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'll support it. If DSP drinks Clorox bleach in the way I want him to, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to give him the money to do it. Like, come on.
You've asked for years. We don't want that. Well, it's because you never wanted it. It's because you're just dumb. And you have people who...
But then he has this, but then there's all these other segments of him saying, you can't please everyone all the time, you can't please some people, you can please some people all the time, but you can't please everyone all of the time. Or whatever the fuck, right? He says that all the time. And then he does something, and it's like, where's my support? Where's my reward?
People who literally prey upon you and suck on you for revenue every day, and you're too dumb to realize it. You are the victim.
But who is the one, by the way, who listened to these mouth droolers and continued to do the grill fill segment? This isn't like the own he thinks it is, because if anything, he is the bigger sucker here. Not the people who watch Detractor videos. He is. He watched a Detractor, because this implies, honestly, this literally implies he listened to what trolls were saying, wanted to give the things that the trolls were asking for, and then the trolls did not pay up. Who is the sucker here? The people who watch Detractor videos, or the dude who claims he doesn't watch them, makes content for them, and then didn't get support for doing the content that he thought the trolls wanted? Who is the sucker here? DSP. Okay.
Victims. Anyone who watches that content is literally a victim. You've been mind controlled. You've been messed with. Okay.
Who did push-ups on the floor? You did. Who took pictures of your refrigerator? You did. Who allowed PPP to continue to do grill fill segments with no real problems? This guy. You can't blame the trolls or anyone else for grill fill segments simply existing. That's on you. Again, this is why I mentioned earlier when PPP announced that they were going to do it at the end of the show, or if at all, or whatever the fuck, he said it in a way that was straightforward, and that was it. This dude has to be antagonistic and say that, see, these people are dumb. See, so he's, again, conditioning his audience to not tell DSP the criticisms that the trolls are saying to him. To not listen to the trolls. This is also a way of conditioning your audience. But if you're listening to your audience that are giving you advice that are troll advice, like do push-ups or whatever the fuck, that might not be the kind of opinion you should be listening to. But maybe the ones that are saying like, Phil, I think you should mute the mic when you burp. Maybe that's the troll advice you should listen to, and not the one that says, Phil, you should like do jumping jacks. You should put socks on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay.
So, now looking at this, okay, and seeing firsthand what's happened in this last 5 episodes that we have attempted to do this stuff and it hasn't worked, we are done with it.
We're done.
Okay? So moving forward, on Smart Guys, the show will open up. We will have some banter at the beginning, some back and forth, talking about how we're doing and stuff like that. But we're going to only do that for a few minutes, and we're going to get into wrestling pretty quickly. We'll do the commentary on whatever wrestling we watched for the week. And once that commentary is done, depending on how much time is left on the show, we will probably stick around and do a little bit of funny stuff and go back and forth. But for the most part...
Yeah, see? That's basically what PPP said. But again, he said it in a more direct way, where it's like, yeah, the grill fill's going to be at the end, and that's it. And now it's like, well, maybe, whatever.
It's going to be focused on wrestling moving forward, okay?
So, again, this whole thing of him yelling and ranting and raving about the Grill Phil segment and this and that really does mean nothing because he's doing it anyway.
We're excited because this is WrestleMania season. You know, you got the build up to the Elimination Chamber, and then you're going to have WrestleMania itself. There's going to be a lot going on in pro wrestling to talk about. And just because we tried to do something different and it failed doesn't mean that we're going to give up on the show. All right? We really enjoy doing the show.
Give it up.
But obviously, catering to these people is not working. All right?
Why would you cater to these people? And again, this is all in a wrestling podcast. You're doing a wrestling podcast. Why is this dude so gung-ho to lock down any conversation in his podcast or his gaming streams? But the wrestling podcast that was specifically for wrestling, he was open to the idea of doing Grill Phil segments that, and it started off with grilling him about WWE champions, and then morphed into what happened with whatever the fuck it turned into. Come on.
All right, so we're changing the format starting next week on Tuesday. There will be no more insanely lengthy Grill Phil segments. Instead, it's going to be a little bit of kind of, banter back and forth and then getting to the commentary on wrestling. And then basically moving on and seeing how much time we have left after the fact and going from there. Okay? So, the reason I'm bringing this up is because last night on Smart Guys, we did an entire Grill Phil segment. Okay?
Okay.
And basically, it did nothing at all. Like, we worked an hour on this segment. I had all these pictures that we saved.
We worked for an hour. Dude, you just took a camera and just took pictures and that's it. Like, but again, it's very embarrassing to me that, like, again, the only reason why these pictures exist in the first place is simply because this dude, like, cried about how he could not fit a rum cake in a fucking refrigerator.
Saved up. We had all this stuff in a row covering. No one cared. And then half the people in chat who were fans of mine were like, this sucks. This is just, here's the thing.
Again, but why were you trying to cater to trolls when you want to focus on your fans? Like, this makes no sense. Like, this is the kind of, like, shit people complain about when people try to appease to modern audiences, basically. Like, this isn't your fan base. Why are you making this stuff to be more accessible? But the thing is, it's not necessarily the same. Even though I said it kind of is. The relation and talking points are the same. The fundamental difference is that when a video game wants to be more, like, accessible and to sell more copies and this and that, that, in my opinion, is a positive approach in making a video game that has the unintended consequence or whatever that may alienate longtime fans and certain things. I mean, some longtime fans can go along with it, some won't, whatever. That's always going to be the give and take on that. But it's, as a whole, I think it's a more positive idea to do, right? Whatever. For media, video games, whatever. Like, you want more people to, like, experience something. Versus this, that you're not opening your content to more positive people or more people to watch your content. You wanted trolls to watch your content at that point. Why do you want them to watch your content? This is kind of like the same thing that people, like, kind of, like, raise an eyebrow at when he first did the Dark Souls Redemption run, where he was, like, hyping up that, oh, in the chat it's gonna be DSP fans versus my haters. They're gonna be saying, oh, yeah, man, it's gonna be crazy. It's the same kind of shit there as it is now, right?
The last 2 years have been wild, have they not? Starting with the entire internet hated Phil, including big content creators. So Phil wanted to have an interview. He picks an interview with side scrollers, which are probably the worst people to do it with because they're looking to get a boost of popularity based on Phil.
But he wanted to do it, and again, he allowed it to happen in his own story, mind you, because if you listen to DSP's story, you kind of get the impression that he could have easily just said no. I want to do what you said initially and just talk about video games. But instead, he was like open to the idea that they were gonna ask him questions.
They don't care about Phil. They
Or
just
whatever.
want to get some kind of eyes on them because they're failing.
And then he said it was a fair interview. It went according to plan. Like this side scrollers interview, it really went like all around the world. It went from it was a fair and balanced interview to it's working the way as intended. It was kind of negative, but it was fair. I just had the problem with the debrief stream. Then it went to, well, I wanted this so all the trolls can go and watch that video and leave me alone. And now it's, oh, they did this to get a rise out of me. Like, this isn't like a very legitimate person to talk to, because you can do an interview with him and then you don't know where he's gonna land afterwards. Very volatile individual.
As a fucking show. They do the absolute worst by snaking me, right? The next day after the interview, turning it into a 3-ring circus of my detractors coming on their show and just taking.
The trolls didn't come on on their show. It was just they were reading super chats that they got during the interview, and then they were like, "Yeah, I guess he did lie. Okay, whatever." And then guess what? He did lie. So it doesn't really help the fact that he lied, because again, if he said on that show, I sold the account, like, I mean, it really doesn't make sense when you think about it, right? Because he said for years, oh, it's not me, it's not me, it's not me. But then he says, well, I did sell it. And then he implied that he sold it long before the Side Scrolls interview. And it's like, okay, well, if that's the case, and he knows people don't believe him, that he isn't down from the rafters, what possible loss would he have had if he just said, I sold the account? Like, and the only reason why he accepted it was because he was driven in the corner with June, which he also did not tell truthfully that it was him. If you watch the June the King. Now, this guy talks about him snaking, about how people snaked him. Let's talk about this. I mentioned this before, but I want to bring it up again. DSP snaked June the King, if you think about it, because June made this big documentary that DSP wanted that to be like the end-all be-all documentary that was going to feature everything. And in that video, June could not say for sure that DSP was down from the rafters. He ended out saying that it's speculative and it's probably him or whatever, but it was still a speculative piece in that documentary. And then the next day, DSP said, yes, I'm down from the rafters, which literally is dirty, because why not say that in the documentary that people are going to watch? So people are going to watch this documentary, and they may have good faith in that documentary to assume that it's not him, and they're probably not going to watch DSP react to it because it's a long fucking react to sit through. And you have to hope, I guess, that DSP would say, on his own stream, that he was down from the Raptors, that he sold the account, which he doesn't do, which he won't do unless he's asked, I guess. But he's gonna say that's stupid. So he in a way made June the King's documentary not the definitive documentary that he set out to be, that even DSP claimed, because he didn't want to give June a little piece to get more extra attention. He wanted that attention. He wanted people to go to his fucking channel and listen to him talk about WWE champions. But June was the opportunity to do that.
Taking pot shots at me constantly for weeks, and in fact that continued over a course of months over the year, where several times.
But this is irrelevant to him, because it didn't affect him directly. He acts as if this affected him directly. It didn't. The most that happened was Craig wanted to play Street Fighter 6 with him, and DSP said that's stupid. He's gonna lose. Which is like, okay, why not? Why not play Street Fighter 6 against him? And then he could brag about how bad he is at a game. Come on.
Times side scrollers would do shows based just around shitting on me. Okay. So after that,
You know,
huge
as DSP would say, they only shed on DSP when people asked about DSP.
that, right? Me spending an entire year licking my wounds and basically saying, I'm not doing this kind of shit anymore. I'm tired of being, the target.
God, licking my wounds. Licking my wounds, man. Listen to this.
Missed that, right? Me spending an entire year licking my wounds and basically.
This is such bullshit. This is so cringe. It's the same shit I felt when he was like, Craig, I had to go into hiding. As if like Craig unleashed like dangerous people. Like Craig got a whole cartel after DSP. They're all coming. They're all storming Renton to get to Phil. So he had to go into hiding. He had to lick my wounds. What wounds? He sat there and said it was fair, and then he like cried. Then he did a whole stream like highlighting it again, and then after that it was like the same nonsense. The wounds he got are like self-inflicted, basically.
Basically saying, I'm not doing this kind of shit anymore. I'm tired of being, the target of people trying to get over on my behalf and shit like that. And then basically after all of that, okay?
Oh my god, earwiggle.
Having a resurgence, getting attention from Kino Casino, who originally was just gonna crap on me, but after actually having me on the show and doing content with me.
Dude, they still crap on you. Like, dude, like, if you're a DSP fan, I kind of would feel offended by how DSP defends Kino Casino, because the stuff they say about his fucking fans, like, DSP should not be applauding them. Because they shot on his audience a lot, maybe more so than they shot on Cat and him. Because they celebrate the fact that DSP is what they claim DSP is grifting and scamming them, and they enjoy DSP taking their money and this and that, and DSP like doubles down on that, and it's like, this is not very positive. You're allowing two other streamers to literally shit on your own audience, calling them suckers. This is shit that DSP would criticize trolls for doing. But since Kino Casino threw him some whales, it's okay.
With me and doing that co-op commentary on the Review Tech USA documentary, realizing how awesome it is to actually collaborate, right? We're making good content together, having new eyes.
It's still nothing interesting. There's like no chemistry between them. It's really just DSP trying to act cool with his bully. Like, that's really all it is. Like, it's in a way it's like a form of survival. Like, you don't want to like go against the grain when you know the person that you're with may like bully you so hard, so you just kind of like roll with it but you know deep down what is going on is wrong, but you're just too afraid to stand up to the person that you perceive to be the bigger fish. Like, DSP is a professional victim in the sense that he'll capitalize and be opportunistic in a position that he can be a victim in, but he will not do anything that may land him to be a genuine victim. Because let's say he did stand up to PPP and started saying that these people are out of line and this and that, like he started to like go off on them or whatever, and they don't like, and let's say that they push back on that. Do you think DSP is going to be able to, like, stick the landing? Like, at some point, like, and that causes a rift, he could generally get people to be on his side again. To say, hey, that's fucked up, man. Like, these guys were making fun of him So of course he's gonna like bite back, basically. So like DSP is the true victim because they're the ones that like were harassing him and abusing him the whole time. They were exploiting him, man. Like that could be the situation if DSP stood up for himself, but he won't because he has found more reason to keep being around them despite the character assassination they're kind of doing to him. If people genuinely cared about DSP, like if you're a DSP fan, I feel this should be this should disappoint you a little bit in him.
Eyes on me for the first time, and essentially through that arc, the entire internet dropped the whole problem with me that they ever had.
This is made up. This is in his head. The whole internet didn't have a problem with him. The only way you could perceive that is if all you do is watch like Detractor videos, which they haven't stopped, by the way. There's still people making videos about him. But when it comes to the internet as a whole, they never cared. They only know him as a dude who sucks at video games and I mean, maybe they would also know about giving empty game cases. They may know that much, but it's that he sucks at games and he fapped. That is it. None of them said, fuck this guy. Oh, that Phil guy? Fuck him. Like, they either don't know or don't care. And it's probably they don't care. Because they have nothing to gain from doing any collaboration. Like, at the end of the day, when it comes to him reaching out to other content creators like Maximilian, what benefit would Maximilian get from doing content with DSP? And it doesn't have to be monetary or viewership or whatever, but what would they do? Just play a game together? I mean, I don't think Max would want to do that with them when he could just do that with anyone else. Like, you know, it's not really the same anymore in that kind of way.
The only people who still have issue with me are my detractors, right? So going through this entire crazy arc, right? It's been a wild ride.
I mean, now, again, when Critical brought him up, it was really like, oh yeah, man, he like begs, man, yeah, it's pretty bad, man. That's it. He doesn't say, oh, that Phil guy, you should be canceled. We should ban his account. Like, no, like he acts as if like people were like having campaigns of wanting to like silence Phil and to deplatform him, but no one said that. Only like a few people wanted to be deplatformed for both like, you know, their own reasons or like trollish reasons.
Now we're trying different things, we're doing different things, but definitely we've trying to cater to those people who have been my biggest critics. Doesn't benefit me or anyone. It's just a waste of time. Okay? So we are going to continue to do the show, but we're going to have it more way wrestling focused moving forward. Okay? So yesterday, we do this show. The entire first hour is Grill Phil. We get nothing out of it. Like, no lie, not a single...
He just said this. We just talked about this. Dude, did we go back in time?
Detractor or anyone who likes that kind of content contributed at all. All right? Instead, we had some people who were contributing who were positive supporters of either the casino or my content.
I have bad habits on the camera. I'll be honest. But the most I do with my mouth is like there might be like food stuck in my teeth. But this dude will like shove his hands down his throat basically. Like, come on. Like it comes to a grinding halt when he talks sometimes.
And we're like, you know, we get it, but we wish you would just get to the wrestling, all right? So we did. And we actually had a good time with the wrestling, all right? FYI, it was a good show. And it was 3 hours, and you can check it out. It's archived over on DSP Reacts right now in its entirety, so you can watch it. And
so,
please,
you know, it's funny, right? I have these timestamps here, and I write down at 9 minutes and 51 seconds, Grill Phil canceled or whatever the fuck. Then I said 35 minutes and 38 seconds, why Grill Phil failed. we're 20 minutes into this video, and he kind of discussed the Real Phil stuff. So we're gonna go back to this. Jeez.
Please comment on the show. We would like to hear your thoughts on what you think works, what doesn't. We do need feedback. We would love to have tons of comments on, hey, this is what we like, what we don't like, this is how you can improve. We want this show to evolve over time and get better. Okay?
Evolve.
So please do that for us. All right?
Do that for us.
But
what about what you want to do?
FYI,
with the show?
we're in a situation here
Whatever.
where basically the show did not bring in much support at all. All right? 3 hours. And basically,
But yeah, it's gonna be wrestling. It's not really fun. But let's move on to the next timestamp. I'm gonna just move on 3 minutes. I just want to see what he goes on to say.
Pretty awesome. So now we have 6 to go.
Oh, okay. So he talked about like PBB giving him like the full amount. Like he's like, oh, you could keep the money, Phil. I'll be magnanimous. Let's hit the goal. So there you go. So let's move on to. This is the this is his game release schedule.
Okay, but we don't know yet what's going to happen with that.
Why did he bring this?
Is your agreement at all in that email stating whether or not you could actually capture and stream?
Okay, whatever. I don't care about that anymore. He's talking about fucking betas. All right. Nice silence.
I don't know. On my end, it looks good. I don't see any. So I'm not sure what happened over there. Contribution of the day. And then Hank Fritz did a super chat, a $5 super chat, and said the following. The Grill Phil segment falls.
Oh, that's why. Because he read that super chat, so that it revived this discussion. But that whatever. I mean, I get it.
To draw in the anti-Phil audience because you've learned to handle it just too well.
Wait, what?
$5 super chat and said the following. The Grill Phil segment fails to draw in the anti-Phil audience because you've learned to handle it just too well. They want to see you struggle.
Dude, you're telling me that he handled it well? Like, dude, the whole time, like, yeah, yes, I know, man. Oh, that's my freezer. Look at my freezer. Yeah, that pizza. It's delicious, yummy pizza. I have it every night before I go to bed. By the way, you know what I've noticed? So he doesn't do the snack box when he hits the goal of the night stream, and he does it for the next day or whatever. But he says he doesn't do that because, oh, it's like too late or whatever the fuck. But my guy, you eat pizza before you go to bed. I'm sorry, whatever snack is in that snack box is like nothing compared to fucking pizza. Pizza. Even a hamburger. He had a hamburger at one point. And it's like, you're telling me that that's a midnight snack. A hamburger, a pizza. I'm also pretty sure he said a sandwich, but whatever. Those are midnight snacks. And that's fine. You can have that right before bed. But if you eat the Sakura box, like a little cookie, oh, his stomach would explode and he would just get fat immediately. Not the pizza. I mean, I guess technically, guys, if you think about it, pizza is healthy. You may ask me, Theo, why are you saying pizza is healthy? Well, guys, you may not know this. In 2011, the U.S. Congress, get this, decided to consider pizza a vegetable. Yes! Did you know that pizza's a vegetable? Make it make sense.
And sweat. Well, you see, here's the problem. They don't have anything on me. You understand? That's the problem. Like, I, Phil Burnell, am not someone who has groomed people.
This dude is acting as if, like, when we make videos saying this dude's a dumbass, we're doing it in a way that we think that this dude should be canceled. Like, as if he did something heinous. Nobody is saying that. I mean, there's things he does that are pretty bad. Don't get me wrong. But we're not sitting there talking about DSP as if the cops should get involved. Like, guys, Phil, he had Derek in his chat. Call the cops. Like, that'd be kind of like an overreaction. I mean, even the Derek stuff. When you look at the end of the day, what was really going on with the Derek stuff is that he had a very sus YouTube playlist and he was a very creepy person that said a lot of creepy, messed up things to the point that he should be banned from his community, because this is not a guy that's gonna end up in a positive situation if he keeps on the path he's on. Like, nobody is saying that. Well, DSP has is his own little Epstein. Like, DSP's not Epstein here. He's not Jeffrey Epstein, okay, guys? But it's that this guy is just a piece of shit. End of story. That's all the reason people make these videos, is to highlight the fucking nonsense that this dude is doing. And this dude is acting as if, like, we're here with, like, receipts and exposés and, like, oh, look, this guy said he was abused by Phil. But that's not going on. None of this is happening.
Sexually, I'm not someone who has committed mass scamming and fraud against people with meme coin.
I mean, I mean, this is very, like, ridiculous, right? Because the sexual grooming aspect of it is very speculative at best, I guess, or it's very, like, you know, it's not a hard point to, like, prove. It's not very easy to prove or whatever. It's very circumstantial. But as I said, it doesn't make him look like a cool guy or not creepy at all when he brags about talking to Lena when she's of age. Like, that sounds very, very fucking weird. Like, to actually brag about how you went about it thinking of, oh, I did not go after this person when when I waited until they were of age. Like, that's kind of weird, man. Like, you don't think that sounds weird? Okay, I mean, but yeah, so, like, he's not like a hardcore groomer or whatever like that, but he has very weird situations. He waited for Layla to be 18 before dating her, and said so himself, which is like, I mean, you don't find that kind of sus? He was in his 20s, late 20s, I think, mid to late 20s, waiting for someone to turn 18 to date them, and then moving them across the country. That's not weird. That doesn't, like raise some red flags, right? Like, Payne at that point was about to either graduate college, or she was in college, or she dropped out, or whatever. I mean, she could have gotten an education. But then she got involved with DSP, and then you saw what happened. Then, with Kat, yeah, she wasn't, like, at a sus age. She's still younger than him, but I don't think the age gap is that steep, I guess, but whatever. She's still younger than him. He talked to her through DMs. Like, these are, like, you know, you kind of, like, think about a lot of things. I mean, this day and age, it's hard. I guess you could argue this day and age, it's the internet. I mean, you know, anything can happen now, I guess. But it's like, to a degree, you have to be careful who you talk to online, just as anyone else, etc. Sure, whatever. But this dude acts as if there's nothing problematic with what he did. Like, there's nothing that's a little sussy-wussy.
Coins. I'm not someone who faked.
And then the scammer aspect, right? Dude. What about Save the House? Or the Spawn Seats? The business that came and went. Both DSP and Spawn Seats are very lucky DSP has trolls, if you think about it. Because if Spawn Seats was a legitimate company. Okay, hold up. Oh my god, it's the town. It's the town. The town is calling me. But Spawn Seats and DSP are very lucky DSP has trolls. Think about it. If Sponsies was a legitimate company, they would have been able to tolerate trolling very so easily. But they magically just went away very quickly, like into the night almost. Like it's gone. It's a gone site, which in my opinion tells me I don't think it had anything to do with the trolling. I just think it was straight up a scam. And they either got found out by someone else behind the scenes, or they just couldn't. It collapsed on itself. I don't know, but it seemed to be a scam, and people like kind of dug around it too. Like I think Tevin had a video about that share company, and it didn't seem very legitimate even in that video either, because there's other stuff going on with it. So that in a way was DSP promoting a scam onto his audience. There was the Save the House campaign he did. That could be seen as a scam. There's all these things you could kind of chalk to as being a scam. If you really dive deep enough in DSP's career, you could probably form an opinion that he's a scammer.
Faked cancer. All right. I mean, we can keep going.
Now, he brings up the fake cancer thing. You know he's talking about Boogie. But the funny thing about that is, to me, is when people told DSP about that when it happened, he didn't care. He said, well, there were other people that faked illnesses on the internet, so why does it matter, man? Everyone does it. Which is a very weird stance to have. Like, you know, I don't think because one guy did it in the past means that it's okay for everyone else to do it, or that's a defense for it. Like, that's not very rational.
Keep going through the list of heinous actions that these people on the internet have done. I haven't done any of that. Okay? The things that they try to claim that I did are so stupid and have absolutely no factual basis. So
people claimed he was down from the rafters and then said, that was me. And the facts that they had were kind of interesting facts or evidence that they brought up. But what about all the times he begged for money to pay bills that went to WWE champions? Now, of course, you could argue, well, he didn't spend like $1 million into it. But again, the question of did he waste money can be measured by many metrics. Like that's like you could have the opinion that he wastes money by simply spending $10 in a mobile game. Like he says that people waste money who pay for microtransactions in video games as it is.
oh, you can say it as much as you want. It doesn't matter. It has no effect on me, right? Like,
Right?
how many years and years have they been saying all of this stuff about me? Has it affected me at all? I'm still here. I'm still successful. I'm still happy.
Yeah, because you're too small to really to have people give that much about to care that much about. And again, obviously DSP isn't like a fucking puppy killer. Like that like come on. No one is saying DSP is like the second coming of Hitler. No one is saying that.
Happy, right? So the truth is, no one is tossing egregious, heinous accusations against me that have any merit. No, you know what I mean? I'm not like Destiny, who has people every other day coming out and saying awful, heinous things, right?
Right?
Here's hilarious. Some idiot in Kick Chat says, Panda says otherwise. My ex who had an interview with Keemstar, and Keemstar literally realized there was absolutely nothing there whatsoever because I'm clean.
Okay. This is a word salad, and it's very, very weird. No one knows what to make of this. But in my opinion, I think he said something he shouldn't have said. Because he said that Key was going to do an interview, then realized there's nothing there, which you can like deduce by doing the interview. You could do the interview, then when it's over, just say, I'm not gonna upload this isn't worth it. Because Keem also said that like He did, like, because I think it was on It's a Gundam. I think they asked him about the interview he had with DSP's family member, and he didn't say no, and he didn't say yes. So it's like in limbo. So that could very much mean he did reach out to Panda Lee, then said there's nothing there, and realized that he's clean. Which, whatever. I mean, you could take that however way, but I think he kind of allude to that's who he was interviewing, because again, when Keem said that he interviewed DSP's family member, it's very easy to understand, at least for me, that he probably included Panda Lee, because he either did not know that Panda Lee was a ex at the time, or he didn't know that they were dating. Maybe they thought that they were brother and sister. I mean, you don't. In my opinion, you don't know, because again, like, he reported DSP fapping, and if you knew that Panda Lee was living with him, you're not gonna think that they're a couple, or that they're dating. If the person there is fapping, you're probably gonna think, oh, they must be like brother and sister, and they're probably rooming together. It could be that much uninformed, because guys, you know that that Keem accused DSP of getting rent money when he lives in a condo. He doesn't pay rent, idiot. But I mean, this is all semantics, and honestly means nothing at the end of the day. Honestly, there's something else I wanted to mention about that. Oh yeah, the other thing again. DSP's talking about the pain. When Panelly comes up, it's, the people accuse him of being a predator around Panda Lee and this and that. But as I said, in my opinion, yeah, 18 is the legal age, but this dude was like super old in the age gap was way too big. Like, it may be legal, but that doesn't make it weird. That doesn't make it not weird. Like, when you see like Leonardo DiCaprio or Robert De Niro or these old Hollywood actors dating women that are in their 20s, like, that does look kind of weird, and that does look kind of like, you may think a lot of things about these individuals when you look at that kind of age range. That age gap is insane. Same with like, the list goes on in Hollywood, to be honest. There's a lot of things to unpack there, I guess, but it's still, like, in the eyes of the law, legal, because they're not like 17, they're not 15 or whatever. But DSP is like was dating a girl that was 18 years old while he was in his late 20s. Like, that's kind of a huge age gap that people can come to the conclusion this is a little weird. And this and that. That's all it is. And him saying, this is why I said, like, him saying, I waited until she was of legal age, does not make him look like a cool guy, like, at all.
So he decided to not go through with any kind of an interview or anything about me because there's nothing to work with. And he said as much in my interview with him. Dare I rest my case here?
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
there's nothing about me that they can say and do because there's nothing that's real. They made it all up.
But again, like, the stuff that people like bring up to him, these are like flaws that are like minor or whatever. Nobody is saying that this dude should belong in jail. I mean, the most that people are saying that to is regarding his bankruptcy and his tax filing, which, again, I don't know much of these documents or nor how to read them, and I'm not going to pretend that I do. But I can just safely assume the government probably doesn't care, because he's a small guy. He's not like a big billionaire that's exploiting loopholes. I mean, he probably is like exploiting something, but it's very like minor. So the IRS and all this are probably not going to care that much when it's like this small of a case.
So there you have it. Okay. So yeah, that's the thing, Hank, is the Grill Phil segment If anything, the grill fill segment on Smart Guys, although it seems to be done in seriousness, okay, it's actually in jest. Do you understand?
It is so obvious it's done in jest. It like you would have to be like kind of like very gullible to think otherwise. But the jokes are all not fun. It's more funny to just see how DSP like ends up doing stunts, basically.
When Ashton is literally bringing up every single detractor thing that they talk about me every week, all that happens is it becomes so exposed for how stupidly pointless it is, that it means nothing, that they have nothing of merit to ever say, that the segment kind of falls flat on its face every week, right?
Again, the socks was just people saying, "Wow, you know, why don't you wear socks over your feet? You don't want to see your fucking feet, man." And then he's like, "Wow, people are saying that they don't want to see my feet. Wow, socks." Or that, like, you know, like this, like the gamer shirts or the PJs. It's like, dude, it just looks really silly. It looks like you just rolled out of bed and walked into the room. Like, you know, when people say that he should be presentable on stream, is that at least like give a fuck about how you look or whatever the fuck. But he only did it out of spite for LTG, not because of any other reason than that. Oh, and then oh my god, what else? Oh my god, I'm spacing on this. Oh, the fridge. Jesus Christ. The refrigerator. Uh, was only because he kept making a big deal about not being able to fit the rum cake. That's it.
If anything, the better way to do that would actually to be do a segment where we watch the detractor content and I laugh and react to it together, right?
All
Because that's
right.
the truth. That what it is we are doing that. We're just not watching their content. We're just bringing up the points that they bring up every week. But imagine if we just reacted to them and how stupid they fucking are and how they lie and they twist everything to make it out to be what it's not, to make money from mentally
Why?
deficient
I
people. Because
mean, you could argue that they do twist things. That okay, you could make that argument. But lie, I mean, how is it a lie if I perceive something to be how it is or whatever the fuck? Like I'm not, I don't live in his little house. I don't know what's going on there. I'm stating what I think is going on. But whatever, okay.
because that's what it is. They literally sit there and they prey on mentally deficient people every single time that they broadcast or upload. That's all it is. They're not
What do I gain from uploading these videos? I don't get a lot from my other videos. Like I uploaded an original video talking about Castlevania Nocturne that got like 40 views. And then this dude says that we're losers and we don't get anything going for ourselves. But then this dude's saying that we're getting all this benefit from exploiting mentally ill people. Oh, okay.
they're not making any true entertaining content. They're fabricating drama for dumb people to pay them for it. Get it? It's literally a sick system. It's predatory. It's
A sick
grooming
system.
101. And the people who watch the content are too dumb and not self-aware enough to realize it.
And then so, and then in a way, like it's funny to me. He describes detractors as if we're like predators that were grooming and conditioning all these people. So you're thinking naturally, so he must feel bad for the viewers, right? No, he calls them stupid. So he's negative to the people making the videos and the people who watch them, which is not very positive. Like I can understand being negative to people who make videos. I can understand that. But when people are just watching videos and to say that they're stupid, that's kind of like you don't need to do that.
So anyway, I understand your
And
point, Hank.
grooming, in my opinion, it can't be grooming because wouldn't I be doing something to make sure that my viewers would act in certain ways I want them to act? Like, what am I doing that's grooming my viewers to make them do what I want them to do? What am I doing? You still haven't told me.
Hank. I kind of agree with you. I'm not going to struggle and sweat over the stuff during the grill fill segments because there's never anything of merit there anyway. What will I struggle or sweat about when it's all bullshit, right? It always is. It's always the
He said this about WWE champions, by the way. It's all bullshit, and then it was true.
stupidest thing. So why would I ever care?
It's so funny. Like, he even says that the WWE champions thing is a stupid thing and this and that. But he made it a big deal by lying for years and years, swearing up and down all around that he doesn't play the game. Like, he made it very clear that he, like, watch the side scrolls. He was like, the mobile game, Craig, I have to think about a lot of things. I gotta ask my wife. I don't know. I don't know. Like, all this stuff. He was panicking in all these questions. And he's sitting there telling us that it's meaningless what we have on him, I guess. Whatever. Okay, man.
Okay. So thank you, Hank. And then Hank actually did a second super chat. Let me get your first one up on the leaderboard. And again, guys, please bear with me. I'm moving really slow today. If you haven't noticed, like I can barely move. So I'm doing my best to maintain the show, but I know I'm moving like a slug right now. Okay. So Hank did a second $5 super
God,
chat.
I hate
I
this.
said, guys, come on. Phil told me if we hit all 6 goals
fucking
today, he
room.
will drink a whole bottle of Selsun Blue on the stream. So let's get some support. Of course. Of course I would do that. I would completely do tons of horrible things to my body and just poison myself. And no, I would not do that.
I mean, you do drink alcohol.
No, that's the kind of that's the kind of dumb
marathons.
shit that probably the detractors would like to see, right? Let's see Phil actually like rip his arm off and lose a limb for the rest of
Yes.
his life on stream to make a fucking monetary goal. These people are insane.
Yeah, rip
know?
your arm off. Yes.
Ugh.
That's what I
Okay.
want him to do. Chop off your arm right now. Live on camera. Get Cat to show up
Drew
and
Corporation
help.
says if someone was willing to hit the goal so you could rest, would you go lay down and take some much needed respite? Is it respite or respite? I think it's respite, right? But is it respite? I don't know how to pronounce the word.
It's rispy. That's how you say it.
Well,
The
here's the
T
thing:
is
we got to hit
silent.
6 goals by Friday. Goals don't get hit by resting. Do you understand? If I turn
But he said if you hit the goal, will you rest? So you would hit a goal.
the stream off and I go lay down, I don't make the money I need to make to pay my bills, to make a living,
bills.
to support my family, and to hit the goals to do this marathon. I've got to be here making content to make the goals. Do you get it? That's how it works.
But
no
you
one
hit
just
one
makes
goal.
money by lazing about.
But you'd hit a
unless
goal.
they're already at that level of insane wealth
He's
where
gonna
they
hit
don't
a
need to
goal.
work, right?
That's what he said.
And I'm not at that level, and I never will
oh
be.
my
You have to
god,
understand.
I don't care about this. Let's move on forward a little bit. Let's see. I think this is a nothing burger, but I wrote it down anyway because I think it's gonna be funny. Let's hear this.
And now people seem to be telling me they don't want me to because it's bad. Like I guess the people who were reviewing it earlier, like this is like one of the worst civs. They really screwed it up. I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't even know the difference because I've never played the others, right? Like I wouldn't know what's better.
So why do you want to play this?
Because I'm kind of ignorant to it. But it is kind of unfortunate that now I'm ready to play PC games, and the PC games that come out, like for example, what has come out? Path of Exile 2. I played it.
Dude, it's so funny. When he didn't have a PC, he was saying, yeah, you see, the days of PC gaming are over. Consoles are forever. All this shit. Now suddenly, he's like, why now are all the PC games sucking?
Played it one stream, flopped miserably. No one wanted it ever again. And literally, I've never even had a single person ask me to play it again. And now we got Civ 7, which everyone says sucks. So it's like, gee, all those PC Master Race people, I don't know, man.
What about the other
all
Civ
those years
games
you were
that
making
are
the
on
argument
PC?
that PC gets the best exclusives, and now I have a PC and there's nothing to play.
No one said that. No one said
right?
PC gets the best exclusives.
I don't know what's going on, man.
Okay. Okay, man.
Could I book a massage to help with the pain in my neck?
All right, I think that's it. That's all I wanted to hear. We're almost to the end of this, but there was this one's kind of funny. I wanted to hear this one out.
Like gods or a fetish? What do I think about pet culture? Highest darkness, I think it went too far to the point where people are treating pets like gods or a fetish. It's I hate to tell you this, highest dark.
Who treats pets as a fetish? What the fuck? I mean, I don't want to think about that. Never mind. I don't want to know about people who treat pets like a fetish. But pets as a god. I mean, that goes way back to ancient Egypt, dude. I mean, the Egyptians loved cats. They put them everywhere in they fucking in their art, man. Man.
Darkness. I mean, yes, there are some people who are like that, but actually,
What a
the
weird
vast majority of
question.
people um are very irresponsible when it comes to pets. Okay, just being honest here. Just go to any local shelter and you'll see.
This is not a fair comparison because like sh- of course at the end of the day, when you have people who buy a dog, buy a cat, and they lose interest in the animal, they either abandon it, abuse it, whatever. Like, yeah, that's awful, and that happens, and it's terrible, of course. But there's also like this instance where beyond that, like there's all these strays, and someone may not be able to take care of that pet, and like, well, I'm gonna bring them to a shelter because I can't take care of it, and and you can't leave them out in the wild like that. Like, you can't leave them be half the time, whatever. There's also people who may have had a pet, then they get into a situation where, oh, I can't keep this pet because either I'm moving and the place I'm moving to will not allow me to have a pet, whatever. So they have to like bring the pet to the shelter, this and that. Like, it's not simply just neglect or abuse are the only reasons why these pets are at a shelter. Like, there could be many reasons why they're there in the first place.
This pet was abandoned. This pet was mistreated. This pet has this issue and was dumped by their owner, right? Pretty messed up.
Or like, the cat may have an issue and they may not be able to afford it, and they may think it's like more ethical to just bring them to a shelter and have them take care of it than to just I don't know, like not take care of it. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you there. Like, it may not be affordable. Like, he doesn't know half these situation or circumstance that some pets may end up in a shelter. I mean, of course, there's a lot of negative. It's weird he focuses on just the negative aspects as to why a pet could be in a shelter, and not like the other reasons why they're there, why they could be there.
What happens right now
It's like
is
going to an orphanage and assuming all of the kids there are all from parents getting murdered or getting killed or some traumatic experience like that. Like, that's what DSP does. It's like, yeah, you go to an orphanage and it's terrible, man. You see all these kids, they're there because their parents died, and it's like, what? But okay.
people take on the responsibility of having a pet, but they don't act as if that pet is another being, a living creature in their home. They act like that pet is a physical belonging. That is something I own. That is part of my property. They don't realize the time, the effort.
By the way, this is coming from a guy who said that he would not buy a pet because he's financially unstable as he was filing for bankruptcy, by the way. Just keep that in mind.
The stress that goes into having another living creature under your roof. When you take in a creature of any type that is alive, you are responsible for its well being and to
What about
making sure that it
bugs?
is happy and healthy,
Like
the same as
cockroaches?
any other creature in your house, whether it be human or not. And a lot of people don't care about that. It's Easter, time to get a bunny, and then they don't care about the bunny or really take care of it.
That's
Oh,
fucked
it's
up.
time. Oh, look at that cute puppy. Let's just get it on a whim. What do they call that? When you do something spur of the moment, you
Oh
don't
my
plan it
god.
out,
Impulse.
and then you regret it because it was a really bad thing to do.
Oh
Um,
man. Then you regret it? I
there's a
mean,
word for it,
whatever.
and for some reason it's not coming to mind. You guys will come up with it in the chat, I'm sure. Impulse, thank you. An impulse purchase, an impulse buy, an impulse action. Correct. That's what it's called. Um, Sadly, a lot of people just do that.
What about the people who buy it, are able to take care of it, but then they find themselves in the future, like in the future now, they find themselves, oh, I can't keep this pet because the place I'm moving to doesn't allow pets, or hey, I can't like be with this pet, or hey, I found a stray on the street. I'm gonna bring them to the shelter so that way they can find a better home. I can't take care of because I don't like pets. Whatever, okay, do that. Or what if like, I'm single right now and I have a cat, but then I date this girl and she's like, we're hitting off and all this stuff, but she wants to move in with me, but she's allergic to cats. What am I gonna do, Phil? Well, I'm sorry, baby. We just have to wait for the cat to die. Then you can move in. Let the cat die first, okay? Sorry, cat. The cat comes first. Or am I gonna just like give it to a shelter? I mean, I may give it to someone else that can take care of the cat better than me. That's another option. Like, there's all these options. There's all these reasons, and you always focus on people who buy like a dog and not care about it. I mean, which obviously happens. And it's never not gonna happen.
And then what suffers?
Suffers.
The freaking animal. That's who suffers, right? Not the human, because the human doesn't really have any kind of responsibility. It's funny. Why do people who take in a pet, why are they legally able to just dump that pet, right? Why are they not held responsible?
What if they can't keep the pet, Phil? Should they just keep the pet if they can't take care of it? Like, this is like, well, why do they buy a pet? Like, there's a lot of things that could go wrong in life, Phil. Like, come on.
I don't understand that. They should be. That's a living creature that you agreed to take care of for the rest of its life. And now because you had a change of heart or you decided that it's just not fun for you anymore, it's too much to take on, too much responsibility, it's too expensive. Well, that was your choice when you took in the pet. You committed to that, right?
Man, this dude,
I've seen nothing but the opposite since I've lived in
he
Washington.
really is only approaching this from the angle that people who do that, who bring a pet to a shelter, are only doing it out of like irresponsibility. There could be no other reason why someone may want to take a pet to a shelter. No other reason. Not maybe they can't afford the health insurance for the cat anymore because the cat's like terminally ill or something. There's a lot of reasons why people could take a pet to a shelter. Like, this is kind of like, it's kind of insensitive to just ignore other reasons why someone may not be able to take care of an animal anymore. Like, they could at one point, but they can't anymore. Like, that happens to a lot of people.
Washington State. Like, my wife and I sometimes go to these shelters where there's pets have been, dumped, and then they take them in and protect them and try to get them adopted. And you see the situations they're in, it's just so sad,
Then why don't you take them all in if you love them so much?
So, yeah, no, I have rarely seen situations where the pet is treated like royalty and people go crazy over treating the pet. You know what I mean? I'm sure it happens. Notably, I bet that happens a lot with people who like a woman who's like middle-aged and single.
Why is it a woman? Why are we just assuming only women could be crazy cat people? Only women. Okay.
And has no family and no significant other and no kids. So she takes in a bunch of pets and treats them like
This is just going over the stereotype that only women would have 1,000 cats or whatever the fuck. Like, this is whatever, man. Okay.
they're her kids, right? I could
Dude, but this is ironic coming from him. Why is it crazy for her to see cats as her kids? As DSP said, Jasper's like a son to him, and this and that. He literally called him his son and said, "I'm his dad." Okay, Jasper, I'm gonna take you to your mom now. Like you can't really like say this shit when you do the same things. And again, like, who fucking cares? Like, the fact that DC makes a big deal out of Jasper is kind of annoying. Like, I love my brother's cats. Like, they're fucking cool and funny and cute and all this other shit. But man, I at least happy that I'm not this annoying with them as he is with Jasper. I mean, come on. I mean, it's kind of hard to be fair. I mean, these cats, they have a very strong personality. I mean, literally, like, if you're sitting in a spot Giago wants to sit, he'll fucking hate you the whole night. He'll hiss at you. He becomes a dragon when he fucking wants to sit where he wants to fucking sit. And then like Yuxi just fucking bullies him sometimes. I mean, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. One time I saw, Chiago has this little bed in the kitchen or whatever. He's sitting there minding his own business. And I see Yuxi, who's younger than him, by the way, just start like hitting him on his head like this. And it's like, and then Tiao gets mad, and she's like, why is he being mean to me? It's like, okay, Yuxi, come on now, dog. But whatever. I mean, these cats are very have a very strong personality. They're fucking crazy. I'll tell you what.
I could see that for sure, like that happening. The classic cat lady story, right?
The classic cat lady story. Classic.
But
classic cat lady story.
I have never really seen a situation where the pet is being treated like royalty, like you said. So I've never seen that firsthand.
You gotta treat Jasper like royalty. You give him the best cat food or whatever the fuck. Whatever.
Oh, okay. So High's Darkness says, I was more so speaking on how people go everywhere with their pets, like restaurants and grocery stores, and bring them around in baby carriages. Well,
oh my god, dude, this dude is lame as fuck. Who the fuck cares? And what if they're a animal support, like a support animal or whatever the fuck they're called? What if that's why they bring them around? Like a fucking, like somebody they bring a dog around because they maybe help them like cope with whatever the fuck, or like why not? You realize that sometimes like people don't like leaving their dog outside of a store because they're afraid that it may be it may be stolen or whatever. They want to bring them around so that they don't have to worry about the dog getting stolen or whatever. Like, and they're in baby carriages. Oh my god, guys, there's a cat in a baby carriage. What, like, come on, man, grow up. Like, this dude is lame, honestly.
Well, that's done again. Why are they doing that? Because they're not seeing that pet as a creature that's part of their family.
Dude. This is, like, adjacently really dumb what he just said, right? That you need to see this pet as a part of your family, correct? Okay. So, are you gonna leave your kid home alone? No. Guess what? You're gonna take them to the store. So they're doing what DSP said they should do, right? Treat them like people. Treat them like a part of your family. So, okay, Jasper kid, we're going to we're going to Costco. Let's go. And he takes Jasper with him. That's what he should do, right? Because he's like family. But then when they do that, oh, this is too crazy. I mean, the only time I would feel somewhat jaded with it is if you're going to a restaurant, like. I get like sometimes why you want to bring a dog to a restaurant, but I also feel like that's not the place for a dog. You know, like you're at a restaurant with other people, and you don't know how they're gonna react to the dog. You don't know how the dog's gonna react to them. But that's not even that doesn't happen so much that it's like a thing I have to that's a hot topic issue. You know, when it comes to like a supermarket, I wouldn't care. I don't see a lot of people do that anyway. But if they did, I wouldn't care, as long as they're not, like, bothering me. Like, as long as they're not, like, biting me or, like, making it hard for me to, like, get what I need, which I don't see that happening, like.
Family, they're seeing that pet as a piece of property to be shown off, like a status symbol, correct?
Correct.
Like,
how do you know
that?
How do you know that's what they're thinking about? Again, they have a pet, and they love the pet, and they just want to hang out with the pet, and they go into the store, and, hey, this would be fun to have a pet, like, chill and, like, look around. Like, whatever.
expensive Rolex watch, you wear the watch all the time to show off that you have that expensive Rolex watch.
And
If you have
this thing about baby carriage pets in stores, I don't know. I kind of doubt that happens, in my opinion. It just sounds kind of
a
random.
pair of Jordans, you wear the Jordans out prominently so people see that you have the Jordans. So to some people, oh, look at this. I have this pet and I can roll it around. Look at me. Oh, look, I'm such a big shot because I've got this cute pet. Give me attention for it and stuff, right? That's why they do that.
Okay. All right. Is that for pet culture?
What kind of sneakers do I like to wear? Sorry that I'm yawning again. It's because I didn't get good sleep last night. I'm all screwed up today. New Balance, I feel, are my favorite sneakers.
Okay,
I've been
we're done with we're done. We're not doing sneaker talk. Where does it go a little bit? Because this I could not like pinpoint.
and it's a legit question, right? Here's the problem with that, Sven.
Because
All right, not that I would have
it was pretty much Sven was pretty much asking like, why don't you do the goal anyway? You know you're gonna hit the goal eventually. Why don't you just do the event? That's basically
issue
what he
doing
asked.
that. I would like to do that. I really would. Like, I want to do this marathon. Listen. I got booze lined up for this marathon that I want to drink. I've been holding off all week on even taking a single sip of this single malt Scotch whiskey that I bought the bottle for the marathon, and this Crown Royal that I bought for the marathon, right?
Yeah,
I'm
so
going to
he wrote
order
it off on
food
his
that day when we do
taxes.
the marathon.
But
My
what's
wife and I,
funny? What's funny though, like he brought up with PPP how he looked into writing food off of his taxes, and it wouldn't work because though if you buy it, you have to eat it in the office. Blah blah blah. Which is like, so you're buying a head of lettuce, and you're assumed that you're gonna eat the entire head of lettuce. Whatever. Okay. Whatever. Or like an entire turkey. You can eat the entire turkey in one stream. But whatever, right? He buys booze, probably writes it off on his taxes, but then continues to drink it outside of his streams. So it's okay for him to do that outside of the streams and still write it off. And even then, take that aside. What about his little game consoles? Like the PS5, specifically the PS5. He bought that for himself. The Xbox Series X and the Switch were all donated to him, so I don't know if I want to consider that. Oh my god. Dude, this leave me alone. Jeez. Damn. But uh anyways, taxes, food. I'm trying to like jog up my memory. I'm all over the place right now. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, the game console, the Switch and Xbox Series X were donated, so I don't know how that would reflect in his taxes. Regardless, whatever. But the PS5 he bought, so technically he wrote that off on his taxes as a business expense. But now Kat has the PS5. She's using that on her on the TV downstairs. The Switch, I think he did include in his business expense in his bankruptcy, and that's also a thing he gave the cat. That's not playing it on stream. Yeah, these things can be business expenses that you can write off, but food, no. Oh, okay.
wife and I really enjoy, and we're going to have a meal live together, and I think that's going to be awesome. It's not that I don't want to do the marathon, all right? But the idea is thus.
The idea is thus.
Okay?
Okay.
The reason that we're doing viewers' choice is because viewers supported my content, right? So they get a marathon where I play the games that they so choose. I got to spend money on this marathon. I got to buy these games. In fact, there's quite a few of them in the list that people are voting on right now that I'd have to buy. For example, Lollipop Chainsaw is like $45. The Onimusha HD remake, I don't know how much that is. Factorio, WWE 2K24, like even every game. The only game there is chess.
One of them he's playing the
is free.
demo. He's not playing the actual
So I got to
game,
drop money
so
on
he's
this
not
marathon. You know,
dropping money on
likely if I buy
everything.
all those games for the marathon, you're talking $100 or more, right? And I got to get the food for the marathon, right? So all these factors, it's not free. It costs me to do it, right? And the premise is,
But the thing that's funny though is he made that from goal 90 to goal 94. He made like over $100. And you just know let's say when the marathon is today as I'm recording this, he gets like $1. He's like, guys, I have to order food. $1? I'm making one. I'm not gonna make anything this stream. But I thought the goals funded that, right?
Is you're doing the marathon as a celebration of hitting a milestone of support. If you just do the reward before you hit the thing that's supposed to qualify for the reward, then what motivation is there for people to actually?
He did this with the Chick-fil-A. This is what threw me off when he did Chick-fil-A, by the way. He didn't hit the goal. And he did it anyway. So he already kind of like ruined the goal reward system if you think about it.
Actually contribute to hit said reward, right? It's a slippery slope. You want to do the right thing and you want to be nice, right? You do.
Right.
But at the same time, if you do it early, what people will always say from now on is, oh, we don't need to hit the goal because Phil's just going to do a reward anyway. Why do we need to hit 10 goals to do DSP Tries It? He'll just do it whenever he feels like it. Why hit 50 to do a fun marathon of Mega Man or whatever? He'll just do it. And then if I don't do it, people will complain, well, you gave us to...
But you know what's funny? He did marathons for free, by the way. Last year and maybe the year before, he did marathons for free. And I said this before, notice the second that these celebratory things have returned, he has canceled every single free marathon he used to do. And I wonder if this year of 2025, if he's going to change his mind on the Halloween and Christmas marathon and make those be paid rewards again. I really wonder. Because he went from doing celebratory marathons every month or whatever to now just not doing them anymore and just doing goals hit rewards again. Like, you notice that how quickly free marathons went away the moment he started doing these.
This to us for free before, so I don't get it. Why aren't you doing it now? Right? That's the problem with giving something for one price or one thing and then changing it later. So for example, why are people up in arms when a service like Sony had free online play, but then they start charging you for it, right?
Guess what? The example I just gave, he gave marathons for free, and now they're not. He did a Sony. He literally did free marathons. Like, he canceled the Super Bowl event because, no one cared. I mean, no one cared anyway, to be fair. That was, like, on the chopping block, to be honest. But it was a free marathon. He did free marathons before, and suddenly, out of the blue, the moment he started getting the King's goals and all this other bullshit, the free marathons went out the window.
Because it was free. And now you're charging me for something that was free? That doesn't make sense. That's not part of the agreement. Why are people upset that with Amazon Prime, they were getting ad-free video and movies for a long time, and then all of a sudden they added ads in? Well, that wasn't the agreement. I paid you for this. You changed the agreement halfway through. So what happens is people get used to a certain thing or want a certain thing, and if you don't, if you
I got
get
used
them
to free
used to
marathons,
that,
Phil.
then they're
Where's
going to
the
get
free
upset
marathons?
if you try to go back on it later. So, for example, if we do this marathon on Friday and we're only at 95 goals, people will just be like, well, guess what? From now on, we just expect you're just going to be doing stuff without hitting any goals. And it's going to be counterproductive, and I can't operate a
But the thing is, he kind of, when he talked about this new goals hit thing, that was kind of the way he hyped it up. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So you could rationalize he could do the event and then he'll hit goal 100 eventually. I mean, to a point that would be silly. Like, I think that would be silly, right? But maybe he doesn't need to like panic about hitting goals, because again, this is like what happens when he was complaining about his like back pain or whatever, like his shoulder pain, and people are like, Phil, you should take a Tylenol, you should do marijuana, you should do cocaine for the pain. And then he's like, no, No, idiot, I don't want to do it. Why are people telling you to take painkillers? Well, I don't know, Phil. Maybe don't be such a bitch about your fucking body sometimes.
Create a business like that, you know? We had the streak, we changed the streak because the streak wasn't working, right? The streak was very annoying. That it was expected that we're going to hit a goal every stream. I do think that that's unrealistic, you know?
Yeah, but now it's not about hitting the goal every stream. It's now hitting a goal to hit a day that you want to do the marathon. There's so many instances where, like, it's even with DSP tries it, guys. We gotta hit the goal so we can do DSP tries it for Friday, guys. I would love to do DSP tries it on Thursday, guys. Please, we have this many days. We could do it on Friday if we do it now. Like, that's what it's become. And then, when he hits the goal, he then starts talking about doubling the goal. Like, it's not that about, like, it's really just cope to say it's okay to not hit the goal every time, but he will not hesitate to talking about doubling the goal and hitting the goal at a certain time. Like, come on.
You know, there was a time we were, but I think that this new way of doing it is better and everyone's liked it, right? I think what it is we're tweaking it to find the perfect formula. And sadly, we had some bumps along the way. One of those bumps was changing from a fast food based DSP tries it to the snacks. I think that did not work at all. I think that people would have preferred that if we just did
But
the fast food.
you know the thing with the snacks? I just think this is funny how we're just done with it and we're not doing it ever again. But the idea, I think, of doing a snack at each time he hits a goal is a good idea. Just for the scale that it is. So why doesn't he just buy a Sakura box or these snack boxes and then just eat them with each goal? Like he's doing now. But I feel like once he's done with his Sakura box, we'll never do this again, and that's it. But this is what I mean, like, the amount of goals hit to do something isn't really proportionate to the value. Like, him doing crumble cookie, I don't think fits the value of how many goals he has to hit. That's why DSP tries it may have worked with fast food may work a little bit better in that regard. But why not just say, like, well, I'll do snacks and that's a small time thing. We do that for every goal that's hit. Or whatever. Like, why not just do that?
Fast food DSP tries it, we would have hit it faster. We would have hit 90 way faster than we did. And now, you know, getting to this marathon, you know, it's rough because so much is going on. You know, I'm in pain, I'm hurt and shit, and it's hard to get motivated. Like today, I would have been, you know, probably doing backflips on the stream, trying to get people motivated to contribute, but I can't really do that when I'm in pain. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
What can I do? You know, I mean, people take time off. Well, just think about that.
Think about that.
Take time off. So, according to you, I should have taken time off last week when I was feeling under the weather. Remember last?
Dude, again, he said if I hit the goal, will you rest for the day? So he'd hit the goal. But okay.
So I had a really sore throat one day, and then this week I should take time off for my neck, and I should take more time off. So when will I be here exactly? Right? And that's the problem is. Unlike the other people who you see who take time off, right? Ashton and Andy, those guys can take time off whenever they want. Why? Because every time they turn on their goddamn stream, they make thousands.
He implies that everyone's a millionaire. Like, Max Millions a millionaire. How, like, does he know how much he makes? Like, okay, man.
Of dollars. Have you ever seen one of their streams when they turn it on, how people flood them with support? They don't have to do anything. They literally turn on the stream and they get flooded with support. I don't get that. All right? I work for my fucking living hard. And I'm not saying they don't work hard either, but it's just completely exponentially different scales. You understand that? So,
dude, him working. Okay. Let's I was gonna watch this.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Wrap.
Oh god, I even lost my place. Fuck that. Because he was saying, guys, do me a favor, let's hit the goal. And then people did do him the favor. Actually, no, we're not going to let's go to Raw Phil. I almost gave Phil an evil view. Oh god, he's playing
better.
Fucking
This person
chess.
is way better than me.
Dude, look at this. And we got a nice ad. A1C. Yes. Yeah, yes. This is him working hard, by the way. Look how hard he's working. All right, what are you gonna do, Phil?
Except it's not. They can't take it because then they lose. So now the king's stuck.
Okay.
Shit, I have 47 seconds left.
All right, good move, King.
I gotta make fast moves now.
All right. Oh, he took your pawn. Dun dun dun. Oh shit, he took his pawn. Uh-oh, the king's moving forward. Or is that the queen? Oh, no, it's the king. No, it's the queen. The king is like in the back.
Shit, I'm out of time.
Because the queen has like the rounded edge. Oh, is he? I don't think he's doing too good. Oh shit.
I'm in check.
Uh-oh. He's gonna get fucked. No, don't do that! Oh my god, Phil, you're done! You're done, Phil. Oh my god, it's over. It's never been so over. Oh shit.
I have 1 second.
Dude, it's over.
Wait a minute. Oh, I had no time.
Oh.
I could have taken the queen, but I was out of time.
He lost.
Ah.
Wow.
I needed more time. I lost a timeout. I didn't lose. I
Oh my
literally
God, you
didn't
lost a
lose to the game.
timeout?
I lost a 10-minute timeout.
No.
Yeah. If it wasn't 10-minute timeout, I mean, they moved the queen to an unsafe spot. I would have taken the queen.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Sure,
I was
you
doing pretty
would.
good.
Oh, yeah?
You know, I'm trying, you know, but
He
I had
did
checkmate.
so
I
good,
did.
but he
I don't
did
even know.
not
People say I had
win.
checkmate like 4
In
minutes
the
ago.
end, it was a checkmate.
Stupid time limit. Ugh. White won on time. That sucks.
Oh, I did tell you why they
Two
won.
blunders. They
Two
called
blunders.
it blunders? How dare they call it blunders?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know I was doing pretty good, but I ran out of time. This guy just moves faster.
Okay. That's him working hard,
I gotta
by the
bust my
way.
ass. I gotta be here.
He was busting ass.
It sucks when it's a situation like these last couple of weeks where definitely I would have benefited better from not being here as much. I probably wouldn't have been as stressed or as worn out as I am right now. You know, who even knows why this neck thing happened? I don't know. But
He probably just slept on
you
it
know,
funny. That's
it
probably
is
all
what it is.
is.
I'm toughing through it, man. But that's the problem is if I just give everything to be a nice guy, then the incentive for
Man,
people to
the
contribute
thirst
to
of being
hit
a
goals
nice
and get
guy.
rewards will be gone. I'd essentially be gaming my own system.
Guess what? He gamed
And
his own system because Dio said on the Ninja Gaiden stream, "Hey Phil, can you like take $25 and put it towards the mouth-washing stream that you had from this stream or whatever the fuck?" He's like, yes, that's a good idea. I'm gonna do that, man." Because this dude was thirsty to hit the goal. He was desperate. Desperate.
It's just going to shoot me in the foot. That's all it's going to do. It's going to come back to bite me and shoot me in the foot. When the next time we try to hit the next goal, oh, we don't care about hitting that because you're just going to give it to us anyway. Well, no, I'm not. Oh,
No,
well, how
I'm
dare
not.
you? You gave us stuff for free before. So, you know, and that's the problem.
You gave us
That's
stuff
the
free
problem with it.
before,
You
though.
cannot do that and change it midway because then people will get upset.
You gave us free marathons in the past. What about that? Huh? The only marathon you didn't get for free was the viewer's choice, and that was by design, by the way. Think about it. Because you didn't want to play their games for free,
Okay.
obviously.
All right, folks. I think we're going to end the show, and I'm going to do my best.
All right, I think that's it. Okay, let's hit live.
From France. This person's from France.
Oh my God. Do we have gamer news?
Generate tepid sales. So here you go. They're an Ivy League university. You
Oh,
just get
God.
in, and then you
Oh
get your
my God.
That's innovative. That's our. Let's actually take a look.
Warner Brothers video game division faced thin slate leadership, uncertainty, and Wonder Woman issues. Dude, Warner Brothers as real as just. I mean, it's Warner Brothers, dude. They canceled Batgirl, a movie that was finished, by the way. They just canceled to write it off on their taxes. They canceled Coyote versus Acme, and that was pretty much done. And the stuff I saw, it looked interesting. I would have watched it, but that got canceled, and there was a whole drama about it. Like that movie that got canceled, it got to the point where the government wanted to investigate Warner Brothers because it's like, dude, Looney Tunes is like your fucking name brand. And you think that's not gonna give you money? Like it was very confusing. I don't know what came from that, but I was like, I was hoping for something. But yeah, that got canceled. Like Warner Brothers is just a greedy company, and they just want to save as much money. They make bad business decisions, and they're like, well, look at this, and he's probably gonna blame like Harvard League people or whatever the fuck. But it's Warner Brothers Discovery. David Zaslav sucks ass. Uh, Me that might be a bonus. Let's see how much time. 2 hours. Okay. I wanted to watch. I wanted to talk about this part though.
But let me tell you something. I'm just gonna make a comment here. All right.
All right.
I am so pleased with my setup upgrades that I can play a game like this in 2025. Right. Right after it came out on Game Pass, so I got it right away. I'm playing it on a high-end gaming PC. We're getting these amazing graphics and everything. I'm playing it on.
Is Ninja Gaiden 2 Black on Game Pass? I thought it wasn't. Well, whatever. Okay.
The best controller possible.
The best controller.
Right? With
yes.
this awesome setup. This is so cool. I just feel so different now.
Remember when he used to say that those controllers were a scam? But it's the best controller possible.
Actually, I always was like the guy with the terrible budget and, barely can't even see me on the face cam, right? Like, all cool.
Man.
I just feel so different now. Previously I always was like the guy with the terrible budget.
The terrible budget, 5K business expense, by the way. And like this still isn't good. I mean, he still has issues. His cameras turn off randomly. His motherboard is a piece of shit, apparently. Okay.
And barely can't even see me on the face cam, right? Like, it's all blurry and shit. And the graphics are like half cocked and
dude, he says that the camera he's using now for gameplay has artifacting and it looks shitty compared to the other one. And now he's saying it's good. Oh, okay.
Quality is not good. And I'm playing it here on like the top of the line shit. Like, God, this is so crazy different. I'm so happy for what we get to do now. We get to spend time together playing the best. Imagine, I mean, this is just a rinky-dink one-off game. A random release no one even knew was coming out.
I love that he's shitting on this game like, oh, it's a rinky-dink release. It's a time filler. Loves gaming, by the way. Loves games.
Can you imagine how cool it's going to be playing all the hot new games? Can you imagine how dope things are going to be when GTA 6 comes out? We get to play GTA 6 together with this setup and everything. It's going to be fucking amazing. I cannot wait. You know what I'm going to do for GTA 6?
Oh,
I have a lighting setup that looks like police lights flashing.
Oh,
so whenever the police come after me, I'm going to turn on that setup. I'm going to try to escape with actual police lights flashing in the office.
Oh, wow. Remember when LED lights added nothing to the streams and it was stupid?
Sarah says, oh, your bootleg setup made you unique.
Dude. He said that. DSP said that his setup made him look unique. You could find videos of this. Oh, but this phase. Oh my god, this phase. Oh man, hold up. I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna add this. Why not? This look at this. Look at this. Look at this dude's face. Not image slideshow. They changed the name of all these fucking things, okay? Cut me some slack. There we go. Add that. Yes. This is the face he's making to someone who said that his old setup made him look unique. This is the face. This is the face he said that he's giving. He's giving. Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna change the opacity. Is it under filters? No. I know there's a way to change the opacity. There has to be. I'm learning OBS live in a video. Pretty cool, huh? Someone was like skipping through. Okay, this is to flip it. I don't want to flip it. Blending mode. I mean, you'd think it'd be blending mode. Blending mode? Oh man. Maybe properties. No, that's different. Dang it. I know there's a way to change the opacity. I know there's a way. Wait, maybe here. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I can't like see be applied. That's really weird. Okay, whatever. Fuck it. That's my face. I'm making that face as I'm doing like, dude. All right. Let's just put that away. I'll save that for later. I'm gonna make that do something.
What?
What?
Listen, back in the day, all right, one of the things that did make me unique was the fact that when you watched my content, all right, it felt like there's nothing in here. It's just an empty building. It looked like there'd be something here, like an item, but there's nothing. One of the things that made me unique was that when I was filming with my camera, before I even went to Red Capture,
the camera.
right, it sounded like you were sitting on a couch next to someone playing a video game.
No.
So it felt like you were there. Those days are long
With
gone.
the
Ever since I became a live
audio?
streamer
No.
in 2017, so you're talking 8 years I've been doing it this way. The content's changed dramatically and doesn't feel like that anymore, you know? So now you're at a point where you gotta try to do the best, right? You gotta try to be up on technology and up on quality.
He is saying this because he has, as of now, top of line technology. But obviously, technology's ever expanding, ever growing. So when the next thing comes out, he can say, well, I don't need to do that. That's stupid. And this and that. But dude, you said that about RGB lights. You said that about green screen. He went on years saying green screen was dumb. Meanwhile, he used that room specifically because it was perfect, and I quote, to do green screen. Like, that's why he's there. He bought a green screen to use it, never used it, then said, who wants to use green screen? That's stupid, it adds nothing, as the phone fucking rings, bro. Okay, I don't know why they're calling, I don't need to talk to them. But whatever, right? Like, it's just non-stop. Just, I don't need to use green screen. Green screen's stupid, that's nothing. And what my setup is more unique because it's not like everyone else. What does everyone else have? LEDs, green screen. You know, so they're all fake, right? They dye their hair. They wear nice shirts. It's fake. I'm not doing a salon. I'm not doing a fashion show. And he would use like the gay voice to also mock people who have good setups and this and that. And now that he gets a nice setup. My previous setup was unique. Come on, man.
You know, everyone out there is doing it, and you want to try to at least put in effort to.
This is like me dying on the hill of Mac. It's like, my Mac makes my content unique. Everyone tells me, Theo, Your iMac is so unique. We love it. We love you use an iMac to do your videos. We love it. We love it. And then like I get a gaming PC or whatever the fuck, and I start using that to make content. And I'm like, yeah, guys, well, you think my iMac was good? And then he's like, oh, huh, but Theo, you said it was. No, idiot.
Can I hit someone up there?
See, this is the problem with DSP. Maybe don't spend time bragging about your current situation if you plan on changing it, right?
Then take out the light? Holy shit, you can take out the light. Oh, that was cool. But I think you understand what I'm saying, right?
Right.
I get it. Those nostalgic era days back in the day.
Now he gets
but that's been
it.
different for like 8 years at least. You know, I'm just so happy now. Like, this is awesome. I'm playing this game. The quality is amazing. And this is just a filler game. Like I said, when the hot new games actually start coming out this year, we get to play day one.
This dude really talks about this game as if he expected it to be shitty. By the way, like I don't know where it was, but I fucking heard. I could have sworn he said like, "Oh wow," and Ninja Gaiden 2 is good. I didn't expect it to be good or some shit. Like it's really weird.
On the big releases with the best setup with all this tech is gonna be so cool. I'm so excited.
Loves games. This is a filler game. I mean, I don't think people who like this game would say
16-year
that.
content creator is not a flex. People would ask why you haven't pivoted. Because I didn't blow up because I didn't want to.
This is insane. Because the dude said that it's not a flex because people would have asked why didn't you pivot? Why haven't you pivoted? Which, I mean, you could take it as like, oh, he means like why hasn't he pivoted to other content now or whatever. But that could also mean because the technology he's using now isn't new. This stuff didn't drop now. Why didn't he adopt this earlier? But he decided not to because he didn't think it was important or he couldn't afford or he didn't want to spend the money. But he claimed all these nonsense as upgrades. I bought a fight stick. That's an upgrade to the stream, guys. But now he learned the magic of taking money and putting it into the business. But the thing I don't like about like maybe that's not the right way to say it, but the thing that has me scratching my head when he says this kind of shit in this kind of way is that he only got these upgrades because he wanted to have these as write-offs on his taxes for this upcoming tax season or whatever. That's why he did it. And he got all this money to do that, but he didn't take money over time to save it. He had to wait until he had Kino Casino to throw money at him for him to do this. He didn't like finance or take out some money out of the money he was making before and putting it to the side. Like, come on.
I could have blown up way before.
And then with this saying, I didn't want to blow up. Bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Lying out of his fucking gout. This dude was bragging and saying, guys, I would have helped so many people if you guys didn't make me the joke of the internet. I was white hat popular and I was busting news. Remember Pippa and Sopa? I stopped that. Me. And then you guys had to make your jokes. This is how you dope. You took the power away from me. And now suddenly, he didn't want to blow up. He never wanted to. That's such bullshit, my guy.
Before anyone hated me on the internet, I didn't care. I'm not Mr. Serious who wants to be a fucking rich dude, a e-celebrity influencer who can take his money to then finance other projects. No, I just like doing what I do. Do you get it?
But you wanted to do Project 7. And even his own story, he technically wanted to... He was open. He didn't do it, but he was open to pay Respect the Pack. It just so happened he really had to poop, okay? He had to go boom boom really bad. So unfortunately that never happened. So fortunately for him, he was able to save the money and buy more figures with it than to actually invest it into Project 7. Because why would he do that, right?
It's the same as someone who's just really good at their job and they want to keep doing it forever. So I'll make a comparison here. In my local town where I used to grow up, Bridgeport, Connecticut, there was an insanely good pizzeria called Vinny's Pizza. Okay?
Vinny's.
It was owned by an actual family of Italians. Who for
Italianos.
something like 40 plus years just made the best, most authentic East Coast pizza and Italian food. They never grew the building. They never expanded to have delivery.
Wrong. I actually Googled this little establishment. It is true though that they didn't grow. They didn't have any other chains. They don't have any other pizzerias in the state. So that is true. As far as that's concerned, they do delivery. However, delivery is an option. They did expand to delivery. They did do that.
They literally were just a local pizza place. And they were so popular, people would come and say, why don't you expand? Why don't you franchise? Why don't you have delivery? Why don't you do this or that? And Vinny, the guy who owned it, literally would say, I have no aspirations to be any bigger than what I am because I love what I do. I just want to be here with my family and make good food for the neighborhood. Get it?
Get it?
I don't want to be Mr. Popular, Mr. Famous. I never did. If I wanted to, I would.
But again, like they do delivery now. They do it. Come on.
Have been involved with drama and sponsorships.
But this is not a good comparison in my opinion. A restaurant is a very like, first off, it's a very expensive endeavor, honestly, because you have to like pay for a building. You have to pay pay for a cleaning staff, waiting staff, chefs, utensils, all this stuff. So it's not like Mr. Vinny, probably didn't see that this was gonna explode into an empire, and it might not have. So he's like, I'll just stick with the small town and stick with that, and that's it. Because sometimes if you overexpand, it may blow up in his face. Like he may not have been able to compete with other people's pizza. I mean, again, I don't know, Mr. Vinny. I never eaten there. Never even heard of Vinny's Pizza. I don't live in Bridgeport, but. What can I say? I am also Greek, so maybe that's another reason why I don't know Mr. Vinny. But it's very different than making content or being creative. DSP claims he's a creative person, but why doesn't he try any other creative venture? I mean, but he's happy doing video games. Then why is he variety man? Why is the variety that he does very like bland, and it just involves him talking to a camera? I don't know.
All kinds of shit ages ago. I have zero.
But again, like I want to hear this part again.
Get it?
Get it?
I don't want to be Mr. Popular, Mr. Famous. I never did. If I wanted to, I would have been involved with drama.
But you don't have to be involved in drama and be popular, right? You don't have to, like, Maximilian doesn't do drama videos. He does his own thing. Like, you don't have to be involved in drama to be popular or to be big. You can be big and do your own thing. It just takes investment to what you're making, right?
And sponsorships and all kinds of shit ages ago. I have zero aspirations to do that. I just want to be me.
Then why did he take sponsorships from Lazamat, Sumo Lounge? Why did he accept the Amazon Associate link, by the way? Loot Crate, 1UpBox. He jumped on the Twitch bounties. What about that, Mr. Burnell?
And now I get to be me, but also with an awesome setup. And if you can't handle that because you're fucking...
But that's like a very like low-hanging fruit improvement that Like, what really changed about its content? Like, again, you can like paint a beautiful painting, but if that painting does not resonate with someone, no one's gonna care, and that's that.
Fucking jealous. Too bad.
Too bad.
Because that's what it is. The people who criticize me are jealous-ass fucking people who can't believe that someone would be, oh, you mean you didn't blow up and become a millionaire like a Keemstar or like a fucking Game Theory dude or like fucking Maximilian dude. What, you're not a millionaire. No, I'm not.
Maximilian dude is not a millionaire. I don't think he is.
I'm happy. That's all that matters, right? Anyway, that's what I mean. People don't get it.
This dude really loves the class hierarchy and like is dedicated to it. He'll die for the class hierarchy. He'll die for it.
Some people aren't wired that way to understand it. Really, they're not. They don't understand that shit.
One thing Puppy doesn't
So-
believe him, by the way. He literally says, sure.
Okay.
Guy
I
just
received a
didn't know how to
$2 tip
scale. Whatever.
From Flatman B. I'm still
Maybe
whooping
something
my
else.
ass with Ryu. It's so fun, and much love to you. Hope you hit the goal. Thank you.
Alright, I think he says something else, though.
No, I mean, this is the truth, too. You
Here we
notice that these
go.
people, right?
You notice this,
So
right?
they're content creators, and they claim that they love what they do or whatever. Then why do they quit? No, I mean,
Do you know why they quit? Like, you don't know their life situation, dude. Why do they quit? Maybe they're too old to do it, or maybe they just don't want to do it anymore. Like, maybe they love doing it, but they don't. But they also love like spending time with their family, right?
I actually have to ask this question. This is a legit question. If they're all being truthful with you, right? Then why do they stop? Because they all do eventually.
Eventually, I mean, dude, like people get old. Like, my mom loves her job, but at some point she's gonna have to stop working. She knows that as well, but she loves her job. People can love their job and then also understand that when it's time to stop. Some people can still work on what they love to do and they still do it. It's different for everybody, and it's really nasty. It's kind of nasty that this dude is implying that people who stop what they're doing don't love what they do. When this dude says that he did say he wouldn't stop doing what he would do. He would just downgrade it or downscale it. Okay, but that's still not the same as what you're doing now, right? Which is not a lot. I mean, again, he describes the job as he just wants to relax, by the way. But okay.
Eventually, they all quit what they're doing,
Like,
and then
whatever.
and then they end up fading into obscurity, and they just spend all their money behind the scenes. But why did they stop? If they really did love what they did,
Because maybe they can't do it anymore. At some point, I mean, as much as I like Mega 64, I understand they're probably gonna stop making videos at some point. At some point, they're gonna just be like, "Hey, we're too old to do this," or that they're gonna stop. Like, you think they're gonna do it when they're in their fucking 90s? Oh man.
they wouldn't quit. They'd still do it, at least in some form. And that's the truth. In me, I actually love what I do. I told you guys I would still stream even if I was rich, even if I hit the lotto today.
No,
I
you
would
be
still
suing us,
streaming
Phil, remember?
Because I love streaming.
You want
I
to sue
love
us
playing
all.
games. I love hanging out with you guys. Like,
For
this
fun,
is really fun
right?
to me. So I'm
For
not
the
just gonna
lulz.
stop doing it because I don't have to out of necessity anymore. You understand? But that's how some people are.
That does some
They
people
claim
are.
that they're in love with their shit.
Again, needlessly being negative at other people for wanting to stop what they're doing and that's bad because they claim they love what they do. But he doesn't understand other people's life situations as to why they would want to stop doing what they're doing. I mean, you could be cynical about it, I guess. I mean, some people may do it just for the attention, but at the same time, like, who are you to be the arbiter of reason? Oh, this is why you quit. Okay, bullshit. Oh, that guy quit because he's too old. Okay, that's a valid reason, but that guy, bullshit. Like, I mean, come on.
Shit, and they're like, then why did you quit? The moment you didn't have to do it anymore, you quit with the quickness, so that's kind of funny, right? Because all I ever wanted to do was become famous and rich. I didn't care how. That's really should be the answer. Because that's the truth of the matter.
That's kind of how DSP feels, honestly, if you think about it. Are we done? Are we done with the nonsense? You done with the Minecraft playthrough? He wants to play on PC, which is funny to me because Papa Vera did so much work for the Xbox One that we never saw, by the way. And that's never going to be seen again. So, rest in peace, Xbox Minecraft world. We'll never see it again. It's gone. It's dead. Gone forever. It's not deleted. It's just gone. We'll never look at it. We'll never see it ever again. This cat has the Xbox Series X. Alright, I think that's it. Should I do the gamer news? Should I do the gamer news? No, it's gonna probably push into 4 hours, and I'm scared. I'm scared to do it. Because he's like reading the whole article. You know what? I'll watch it on my own, and if I decide to do a video on it, I may end up doing a video on it next week. So you can look forward to that, I guess. Thanks for watching this video. We lasted a long time, but let's just do a vibe check. Is he doing good? Are you winning, son?
Yep.
As they say. Oh, so he was like hyping up his name
Completely
for the chess
over.
game, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm not gonna show you. You gotta wait for the viewers." And this is DSP chessing, which
That's it.
sounds a little sexual. It sounds like a sexual thing.
So this is the problem. If I take my time to think about my moves, I run out of time. If I try to rush moves, then I lose. So how are you supposed to learn in this game? You
Man.
can't.
You
You
learn
have to
by
go into
playing.
this game knowing how to play well, or else you can't do it. Like the speed chess thing, I don't even get it. Like,
Oh man.
you can't do 10-minute speed chess unless you're good. And I'm not good. I'm just trying to figure out how to play again. So this sucks.
This sucks.
This friggin' sucks.
Maybe you get good. Ever tried that? Alright.
I can't look. I can't move anywhere. Can't move there. Can't move there. Can't move there. It's over.
It's over. Dude, it's
Why
his
is the
turn.
default 10-minute time limit? Fuck,
Why
I
is
can't even play. Fuck this. Quit. Forfeit. Flip the board.
Oh my god.
No, I
Dude.
wanted to flip the board. I was angry. I wanted to flip the board.
Oh, dude, this
in
is
anger.
like childish.
You can't rage quit? There's no rage quit option?
Dude, just play the game.
Why is there no rage quit? I wanted to rage quit.
Oh my
No,
god.
I can't. There's no rage quit. All right, they make you play to completion. They make you play to completion so you get completely
So,
embarrassed.
dude, he's playing this. And the people who voted for this, I feel sorry for them. He's not even taking it seriously. He's like, I want to rage quit it. He doesn't give a fuck. But remember, he also said no multiplayer games for the viewer's choice. This is a multiplayer game. Why can't you play a fighting game for viewer's choice? You can resign.
You can resign with a flag. There's a flag. Where do you see a flag?
Oh my
Resign.
god.
Oh, right here?
Dude, he had to read that.
You click that? Oh, okay. That's how you do it.
He didn't do it though. I wanna quit. I wanna quit. I wanna quit. Okay, this is how you quit. Okay, I'm not gonna do it though. Okay.
I don't know if there's an option to play without the timer. If there was an option to play without the timer, I would definitely learn better, but
Play
the timer
puzzles,
has
learn.
completely
Watch
screwed me.
news.
You know?
Social more. Why don't you just play the game? Why is he being so annoying about this?
I'm in check again? Dude, I'm constantly in check.
Why did he move the? Oh my god, this dude is cooked. He's cooked. Okay, he took that guy's pawn. I guess the guy
Oh my
gave
god,
it to
this
him.
guy's so annoying.
Why is he
This
annoying?
guy's endlessly annoying, endlessly putting me in check.
That's how you play the game. Yeah, you gotta win, right? It's always putting me in check. Why would he do that? What a loser. It's like he's playing the game. Wow, this is riveting.
Again in check, dude. He won't stop putting me in check. He's a very annoying player. Incredibly annoying.
Yeah, let him win, dude. Come on, he's just a little baby. He's just learning how to walk. Oh, The Brutalist
The
is a good movie,
Brutalist.
by the way.
Oh my god, stop putting me in check. You're such an annoying person. Wait, isn't the game over? I can't move here. Oh, I guess this is the one spot I can move to. This is it. I
Okay.
have one spot
Then
I can move to.
Jeez. I think half the time is wasted explaining where he's gonna move. And not moving there yet. Here for the snacks. Anybody got intel on this guy?
Okay, finally I don't have to move him. Shit.
Alright. Alabama shares? What? No, shakes? Alright.
I just can't do anything. None of my pieces can do anything right now. They're all garbage.
They're all trash. They're all garbage.
In India, constantly checking is a sign of respect. Of course it is. Of course. Check, of course. I'm in check. Of course I am.
You think I'm in check? Quit fuck yourself.
I'm gonna be checkmate any second now. We're getting there.
Okay, we're gonna just we could block that. Why not?
You think I'm the other DSP? I mean the real DSP.
What?
Yeah, I can't do anything. Look, I can't I really can't do anything.
How many games did he win? I wonder. I'm afraid to ask.
Completely boned.
Chat
No matter
disabled.
where I move,
oh
I'm
man,
boned.
sad day. Imagine if he had chat enabled.
This guy's actually quite good. He kicked my ass. I can't move the king at all.
They
Nope.
need a matchmaking with people who don't know how to play. That I
Well, I
think
guess I
that's
can
what
move
they
here.
need to do.
What a place to move.
I don't know how to play chess, so it's like, why can't the pawn take the queen?
I'm gonna have like 2
I'm
pieces.
sure there's a reason. I don't know. I don't know how to play
Yes,
chess.
take that. There's the king killed the bishop.
Isn't that the
What
queen
a brutal
piece?
king executing the bishop.
That has to be the queen, right?
What a pointless, fruitless move. Oh man.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
Just take pieces because I can. Because the king wants blood. The king is so angry that they're losing. The king wants blood. Out for blood. I will kill your pawns for no good reason at all. Besides the fact that I can. Oh. What a brutal king. What a merciless king. I have 2 pieces left.
All right, 2 pieces. What can you do? What can you do with these 2 pieces?
How dare you move that pawn? No, that's not what was supposed to happen. We're supposed to do that.
I'd love to know what the opponents think of this guy.
Really wasting time.
I wonder if they're like, oh, this guy's an idiot. He's like fucking up.
Yeah, I can't do anything.
Cobra top G. King Cobra? Is that a Cobra reference? I think DC should block him. He might be a troll.
Let's see.
He's stream sniping.
Only move 1 spot. This is it. This is when they get me in checkmate right now. Yep. This 10 minutes, dude, because this time I tried to go fast, and I got screwed going fast. So if I take my time, I run out of time, and if I go fast, I make bad moves. So the speed chess shit is not for me. One more match, and I should actually get rated with someone, though. A couple contributions came in. We had Hank Fritz with a $5 super chat.
Man.
Destroy this scrub. He's mashing buttons. No, that guy was actually good. That guy who's constantly checking me.
All right. That is it. He fucking lost. He doesn't know how to play chess. I don't know how to play chess either, so I can't brag that much about it. And I probably lost a lot. I think as a kid I played with my dad, and my dad kept winning. He kept on beating me in chess. Okay, but that's it. That's where we'll end it. We saw him play chess. That is it, guys. We finished the timestamp quest. Hopefully I don't have to do this crazy bullshit next time. Hopefully he doesn't go on crazy rants. I don't know if he went on a crazy rant this podcast. I'm scared to find out. But I hope to see you next time. Bye.
Time to skedaddle on out of here.